Jay Barker, almost perfect as a starter at Alabama, although Tide fans want to see more in the passing game from him. Coming up.
I love my new hot rod. Those flames scare the other guys. 5,000 horsepower helps too. And a fat bankroll. You know, we've been running Autolite spark plugs forever, but I could wring more money out of someone else. Money's good. My crew burns it. So I tell the guys we're going to run a different plug. They say no. I say I'm the boss. They say Autolite keeps this monster lit. So I tell them I was just kidding.
No matter where I park, it draws a crowd. It's a 55. It's a 55. 55. 55. This is one of the last real classics of our time. What do you think of the bumper, huh? Everything's original. And I take care of it myself right down to the oil and the Purelator filter. Pure oil now. It's a 55. So when someone asks me how I've kept up the engine, I just show them the Purelator. Pure oil later. I don't think you'd all fit. Legends live. 55. Purelator. Purelator.
ESPN, 15 years, first in sports. Congratulations.
Georgia and Alabama just minutes away now. Classic matchup of the Dogs offense and the Tide defense.
I like Alabama in this one. I like them to win it the old-fashioned way. Watch them play real good field position using the kicking game, and special teams will be the difference. Alabama wins.
They usually win the old-fashioned way. They earn it on defense. In this ballgame, I expect Alabama's offense to come out and do a lot of crazy things because of all the attention that guys like me and Coach and Chris have talked about all week. Homer Smith and those guys, he'll do something crazy tonight.
Fans want to see more points. They love the old-fashioned wins. They like to see some old-fashioned points. Final thoughts on the most dramatic game of the afternoon, Colorado and Texas.
I think with Colorado being able to win 2 weeks in a row like they did, dramatic last fourth-quarter wins, that propels them even more towards a great season.
Nebraska, without Tommy Frazier, not going to beat Colorado. I'm telling you guys, Colorado's a team of destiny so far.
He's been saying it again and again and again. They need Frazier. It was evident today. Behringer got it done offensively. But defensively, the Huskers give up 24 points.
Absolutely.
Georgia, Alabama. Mike Tirico's here at halftime. We'll see you back here post-game. Ron, Mike, and Adrian have the call next from Tuscaloosa.
Tuscaloosa, live oaks, long history, and all the graceful charm and mystique of the Deep South, where 100 years of gridiron memories are as thick as the morning dew, where mortals in crimson are remembered as immortals. Another Saturday spectacle in a season marking the beginning of a second century. Around these parts, the Crimson of Alabama always roll at high tide. Prepared to take the field here at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Tonight, this stadium filled to capacity as the Alabama Crimson Tide, the number 10 ranked team in the nation, plays host to the Bulldogs of the University of Georgia. Hi, everybody. Ron Franklin, and welcome once again to CFA Primetime right here on ESPN. And tonight, another one of the really fun places to be able to broadcast a college football game. And tonight in the SEC, Alabama and Georgia, this one goes back a very long way. Now, it doesn't take a math major to break this one down. Pure and simple. Something's got to give. Eric Zier, the quarterback for the Georgia Bulldogs, averages 327 yards passing the ball game. Well, since Gene Stallings has been at the helm here of the Crimson Tide, he's only allowed one quarterback. That was was Brownie Nagel to throw for over 300 yards. So Mike Gottfried, can Georgia maintain what they've been doing offensively tonight? Can Zier do that against this Bama defense?
Ron, if they are going to have a good offensive night, number one, they've got to protect Eric Zier against Alabama's front four. Second, they've got to somehow get some kind of running game going, and they haven't had a lot of running attack. And third, and the most important thing is, they have to make hay on first down, because that's the only down they're going to see regular personnel for Alabama. On the other side of the ball, Alabama's been very conservative on offense for 4 games. They need to step it up on offense.
And, Mike, one of the things we've heard all week since we've been down here from the Alabama fans, they'd like to see them open it up a little bit more. Let's go down to the field and check with Mike Adamle for more on tonight's ball game. Michael.
Ron and Mike, Eric Zier's assault on the record books continues with almost every pass he throws. The ink barely has a chance to dry before he sets another one. If he has any kind of game tonight against Alabama, Shane Matthews' SEC career passing mark will fall. Eric needs 224 yards to surpass the former Gator. Still, Eric's Heisman candidacy is in need of a booster shot. Last week against Ole Miss, he threw 3 interceptions, his first of the year. But an impressive effort against a stingy Alabama defense, one that hasn't given up a touchdown pass this year. And Eric's name will move back into the forefront of the minds of those who vote on the Heisman.
So tonight, one of the classic matchups in the SEC, Georgia against Alabama.
What happens if I guess wrong? Then Dave could be mad at me. And I'll feel miserable.
Everyone's guessing about the toppings on Wendy's new chicken sandwich.
My guess would be Canadian bacon.
Kumquats. I told you.
Of course, if I don't guess, Dave could really be mad at me.
I wanted it to be delicious. A Wendy's whole breast filet, 3 strips of bacon, melted Swiss, and a tangy sauce. It's a new chicken bacon Swiss.
All right, I'll guess. But only because I have to.
Since we started making tires back in 1894, a lot of cars have come and gone. Some took off in flights of fancy, while others never quite got off the ground. And through it all, we made tires for just about every car, truck, and tractor anybody dreamed up, including yours. Kelly Springfield, America's oldest tire company.
Well, they've been coming to this stadium since right after lunch. They just like to get here early. Here's the reason why. These are the standings as you look at the SEC. Florida 3-0, then Georgia and South Carolina at 2-1, Tennessee at 1-2. How about the Western Division? Well, this is how they stand. Alabama 2-0, then LSU and Mississippi State at 1-1, Arkansas 1-2, and Ole Miss 1-3, Auburn 3-0, and of course not eligible for the SEC title. The man they call the Wild Thing, Watts, will kick it off for the Alabama Crimson Tide. He looks the part. Bryce Hunter, you can see him number 88. You'll see why, Mike, when this kid kicks it. It may go left and it may go right, but if it goes straight, it may go out of the back of the end zone. Well, there it is right there. 7 yards deep in the end zone. Here the starting lineup for the Georgia Bulldogs, brought to you by Russell Athletic. Eric Zier, he had his first interception last week. It came against Ole Miss. In fact, he had 3. He can't do that tonight, and a win over Alabama. Wide receivers, they're very good ones, especially Bryce Hunter. Bama can't go to sleep on number 88. And the offensive line, they're trying to get everybody healthy. Finally, after missing 2 games, Adam Meadows is back at that split tackle side. Bowie straight ahead with the run. 5. Counted off at 10 and a first down on a running play right off the top. Here are the folks that are going to try to stop him tonight. Damian Jeffries has been playing extremely well. In fact, he had a fumble recovery for a touchdown just last week against Tulane. The linebackers, boy, this is an active group. The one the coaches really like, Andre Royal, number 36. He goes to the ball extremely hard. And in the secondary, 3-year letterman Sam Shade. He's not starting tonight at strong safety. It's Eric Turner. I think the Tide coaching staff is trying to send a message there. Zier rolls the pocket, throws it complete up to the 42-yard line. Jeff Thomas is on the receiving end, and Mike back-to-back first downs.
First down is the down that Eric Zier has to make hay on, because the nickel and dime defense of Alabama, you remember what they did to Miami and Gino Torretta. You don't want to get in long yardage situations with them. Eric Zier had a shoulder bruise last week against Ole Miss. Didn't practice on Monday and Tuesday, but you're looking at a fighter, Ron. I mean, you know he's a tough guy.
Again, Boy is the lone setback, and he has to come up very close to hear the option or the audible from his quarterback because of the noise. Draw play again. This time it's diagnosed. He may have one. That's it. Ralph Staten, who we didn't know was going to play in the ball game tonight because of an elbow injury, comes up to make the stop.
Greg Davis, the quarterback coach for Georgia, told me that Eric Zier really had a great week. He looks forward to preparing against this Alabama defense because it's a lot what he'll see in the next level on second and third down in the pros.
So here's that situation Mike talked about. Second and long for the Bulldogs. Screen. Hassan Graham, and that won't go anywhere. Number 10, Tommy Johnson. The senior comes up and diagnoses it nicely. With 2 plays in a row, this Alabama defense has been right there.
Ron, now it's third down and long. Now in this situation with Eric Zier, you look for some kind of swing pass or a draw or trap, something, because he's going to be facing a lot of DBs in this situation. Alabama's offense is poor, so don't turn it over, and if you have to do anything, punt it down and see what they can do on their side of the ball.
The line to make is the 46 of Alabama. Picks up a great block. Now delivers the pass. It's complete, and he's going to have the first down at the 45, Bryce Hunter.
Good call by Wayne McDuffie, because you're going to roll Eric Zier to the left, figuring you're going to get pressure inside. Now you move the pocket. You never know where the quarterback's going to be. He's not always going to be in a drop-back situation, so you have to go at him at different angles.
Draw play, and he'll take it to the 40-yard line. Staten again.
Ron, they're running the ball early with draws, and that's going to help them. In the first 2 games, they were 1-1 because they threw 96 times and only ran the ball 34 times. The last 2 games, 2-0, 77 rushes as opposed to 64 passes. In the last 2 games, they've taken the pressure off of Eric Zier. Wayne McDuffie on the left of your screen, the offensive coordinator.
The boy tries to turn the corner. He will be stopped after a gain of 1.5 yards. Staten along with Cedric Samuel. And again, it's going to be a third and long.
It's so important, Ron, that they start, and they have a start where they run the football. Ray Goff looks on. He knows that to keep this Alabama defense honest, where they'll play regular personnel on the field, he has a better chance of winning this football game. Just any kind of running game to keep them honest.
Mike, you see number 41 in the middle. That's Ralph Staten. We didn't know if he'd even be able to play tonight. He has had a severely injured elbow. He's already got 3 tackles. They started him. He's got a lot of open field. Puts the head down, and whoa, you can hear the groan from the crowd. Samuel is the man who came up and hit him, and let's see. He is going to have the first down, yes.
I just keep getting impressed by number 10. Tom Coughlin's here tonight, the new coach of the Jacksonville team. I'm sure he's here to watch Eric Zier, but when you have a quarterback with this mental and physical toughness, he just wants to make things happen. Remember the shoulder injury he had against Ole Miss? Well, he doesn't remember it.
Hines Ward comes in at the lone running back position. That's number 19. Pitch comes to him. You can see he almost lost his footing before he made the turn. Samuel is right there to hit him, and that's going to be just no gain.
When Georgia puts Eric Zier in the shotgun, Ron, it's very difficult to get to him. First of all, he's 5 yards deep. He's going to take 2 more steps to 3 more steps back, so he's 8 yards deep, and he's so quick at getting rid of the football.
Hines Ward is a quarterback, but they noted his running abilities. He's the #2 tailback. Blitz, middle screen, and won't go anywhere. That is a great defensive play by Alabama to make the 78th Powell. Ozell Powell.
You're going to see Alabama send the linebacker right here to try to get pressure on, and that's Staten, number 41, trying to get pressure on Eric Zier. He dumped the football off. Number 78, Ozell Powell, just dropped out as a defensive lineman, became a defensive linebacker.
Third down, and they need the 21 and a half. Lofts it, has it complete to Bryce Hunter. Oh my goodness, where did he sneak out of?
Eric Zier is right on the money. You're going to see a corner route right here out of Bryce Hunter. Works down the football field and runs the corner, the flat route in front of him. Bryce Hunter, and open in front of Sam Shade, number 31. Nice opening drive by Georgia.
Mike, back into the ballgame is Larry Bowie. He had been the starting fullback. Because of his size, they think he has the quickness also to be their tailback. So they're using him a lot more. I'm sure for blocking purposes as well. Zings it complete inside the 3-yard line is Hunter. First and goal, Georgia. They're going to say incomplete.
They're working on Sam Shade, who lost his starting position, as you talked about in the opening lineup. Bryce Hunter, they like the match. Bryce Hunter, 88 versus Sam Shade.
In and out of the hands of Bryce Hunter. You won't see that a great deal.
No. Very good receiver.
5 of 6 is Eric Zier, 37 yards on this opening drive. For the end zone. Oh, he overthrows him, and he had Jeff Thomas in the back of the end zone. And Alabama has a player shaken up at the 21-yard line. And it looks like Shannon Brown is the man who was injured.
Ron, he was hurt in practice this week. He was hurt in the field goal drill. He's got a bad back.
Hey, Mike! Hey, Mike!
Watch this now. The defensive line will do a lot of maneuvers tonight to try to get to Eric Zier. A lot of cross stunts on the outside and the inside, just trying to confuse the blocking scheme. And that's what they want to do. They want to make sure they get a hit on Eric Zier. They're not going to sack him a lot tonight because he's too quick to get rid of the ball, but they want to make sure he gets hit. And that might be what Ray Goss talked about.
We got people on TV.
Well, they started on their own 20. 13 plays, 66 yards, 557. Now, a lot of times, not a lot, but we always think of Alabama as ball control, a possession-type team. But Georgia's showing also that they can be. Well, there's a timeout, so we'll take it with them. 9:09 left in the opening quarter. We are scoreless.
Pros wear Russell Athletic because it's made tough. It has to be.
Hey, kid! Hey, you got my lucky jersey.
Yeah?
I got kind of carried away. Can I have it back?
You gotta be kidding.
Come here, you little pissweed. Get off my back.
No!
You want athletic wear that can survive anything? Get Russell Athletic. Getting tough.
Who was that kid? I don't know. Just sign him up.
A lot of little touches go into every new Plymouth Neon. A very powerful 132 horsepower engine, a spacious cab-forward interior, and a special chip-resistant finish. And oh, one more thing, dual airbag protection. So, it always practices safe driving. Say hello to Plymouth Neon at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
I'm bored. Let's count the palm trees again. Why are you looking at me like that, Iggy?
You okay?
Cut it out. You're weirding me, man. Stop looking at me like that, would ya? You're creeping me out. Cut that out, man.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Jiggy, you're gonna twist my head off. Jiggy.
ESPN's presentation of Saturday Night CFA is brought to you by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. And by the creators of Neon. Say hello to Plymouth Neon. You're looking at a packed house here, and a peeved, I guess we could say, Ray Goff, as he had words with the officials. Mike thought that probably he's talking about the bumps that Zier's getting after he throws the ball. Third down. You see where the ball is resting at the 14. They need the Alabama 5. By Alabama, so they got a free play. Flips it out. Hines Ward caught the ball, and I think the only reason he was so reckless is because he knew he had a free play.
You're exactly right. And that's the thing Greg Davis, the quarterback coach, talks about is his field presence. He knows he has a free play. Why not make something happen? Well, I think he's the best quarterback in college football. He doesn't have the cast around him, but the cast is getting a little bit better in the last couple weeks since we watched him against Tennessee.
Mike, the situation that he had right there probably thrills. You talk about Tom Coughlin being up here watching tonight along with a lot of other scouts.
Offside, defense, 5-yard penalty, previous spot, repeat, third down.
They want somebody that just strictly doesn't go from the playbook. They want to see what a guy is able to do in an ad-lib situation, and he always seems to come up big when that happens.
And the other thing I like in Eric Zier is his toughness. I was reading an article where he said he read about Johnny Unitas breaking his nose in a game in the mud, and he put the mud in his nose. He said, that's the way you got to play quarterback. You stop the bleeding. That's the way I want to be. And I'll tell you, he is a tough quarterback, Eric Zier.
So third down and 5, and the ball just inside the 10. Steps it up, sends it, touchdown, Georgia, James Warner. So 8 minutes and 35 seconds showing on the stadium clock as Cannon Parkman comes in to convert the extra point, and Georgia took the opening kickoff and marched down the field using almost 7 minutes to score. We'll take a break. We'll be right back to Tuscaloosa after this.
David, 7-0.
After Automobile Magazine named Plymouth Neon Automobile of the Year, there just isn't a lot left to say.
Just a whistle stop from Cincinnati, there's a place you can still hear the clickety-clack of the old Wabash Cannonball. Or catch the Golden Arrow to Calais, all in the same room. It's the Garden Railway Company, a favorite destination for train buffs the world over. But if you go, bring your love of the steel wheels and your Visa card. Because at Garden Railway, you can buy the Orient Express. But you can't buy anything with American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
With Goodyear Certified Auto Service, the job's done one way. Right way! Get the best selection of Goodyear tires anywhere. Goodyear trained ASE certified technicians. And the savings you want.
Right now! Save big on Goodyear Auto Service, including 20% off two-wheel front disc brake service. If you want to save, you want to see Goodyear.
You want it, you got it.
Right way, right here, right now.
With Goodyear Certified Auto Service.
Knowles. Canes. It's more than a game. That's next Saturday night. That's where we'll be. 7:30 Eastern Time at the Orange Bowl. Florida State and Miami. As you look at Eric Zier on the sideline, and he has just got to be extremely pleased, Mike, because to draw it up as they did and to take it for almost 7 minutes off the clock to go down the field against this defense.
He is well prepared tonight. They really set 3 wide receivers to the wide side of the field and worked back into the short side of the field where they had the advantage.
Low bounded to the 10-yard line. Out to the 30. Rondy Gibson will have the return, and we will see the Alabama Crimson Tide on offense for the first time this evening. Sherman Williams, Mr. Offense for the Crimson Tide. In fact, the focal point, over 50% of everything comes with him. Good group of wide receivers. Simply, they just don't see that many passes here. Todrick Malone, the man that they'd like to see become the next David Palmer. And the offensive line, this is an area that's been a concern. Right now, John Stevenson is moving from center to right guard tonight to try to help things out. Wants to throw on first down, and he's going to be sacked at the 25-yard line by Travis Jones. So the defensive starters for the Georgia Bulldogs, a defensive line where they now have a freshman starting at nose guard, number 66, Travis Stroud, and the coaches think he's going to be an awfully good one. The linebackers, well, there's nobody any better in the SEC than Randall Godfrey. Very, very tough. And the defensive backs, deepest part of this team, and tonight they get Will Muschamp back at the free safety spot. Pitch goes wide, goes to the ground, and they will lose 5 more. Muschamp, by the way, I mentioned as free, I meant strong safety. The free safety is Corey Johnson.
Ron, this is an offense that doesn't have a lot of confidence, and they can't expect to start this game like this and stay in this game with Georgia. Jay Barker's been sacked 13 times for 87 yards coming into this game. Now add another sack. He's been sacked now 14 times. 27-1-1 as a starter.
Right now, Mike, he has a 3rd down situation. He's got to take it all the way out to the 41-yard line. Steps up, zings his pass, and has it complete to the 30-yard line, and Malone will be shoved out of bounds well short of the first down mark.
Ron, the thing I believe that Alabama has not been able to compensate for is the loss of David Palmer. He was their offense last year. The kicking game in the reverses, they threw the ball to him. No one on Alabama's football team other than Sherman Williams have stepped up to the plate to replace David Palmer. Somebody has to do that tonight.
Brian Deal to kick. He's had problems with his right ankle. If you look at Chris McCraney, the sophomore out of Moultrie, Georgia, back in a single safety. Good kick by Deal. No problem with the ankle on this one. To the 23. Been hit by his own man. 44 yards on the kick. So we'll go to break. And Eric Zier prepares to come back on the field. 7-0 Georgia.
We're doing it early, and we're doing it big. All remaining 94 Chevys have got to go. Even the hottest sports car on the road is closeout priced. New Camaros start under 15 grand. And hey, that's before you make your best deal. Dual airbags, anti-lock brakes, plus all the sports car excitement you can handle.
Nobody else seem to have what it takes. Ooh, except my new Chevrolet.
Prices will never be lower. That's a fact. So hurry on over to your super saving Chevy Geo team right away.
So, you need another workhorse. Well, here's what you do. Tell your darling you're buying a tractor with 2 wheels. Or tell her you're getting a 4-wheeler that can really go places.
You got stuck.
How about a mule that eats gas and pulls more, complains less? Nah, just tell her it's a Rokon from Sheldon's. Then she'll understand.
cha-da-da.
7-0 from
Got a real
Tuscaloosa,
artsy
Alabama.
craftsy injury report here.
And Michael, we're going to be hearing from him momentarily. The reason for the ball being back at the 15-yard line is an illegal block in the back against Georgia on the return. So, Mike, rather than them taking over with better field position, now they're going to have to go up against this Alabama defense deep in their own territory.
Well, the first drive, they carved him up like a turkey. And Eric Zier did everything right in that first drive. Had a little help from his running back, a good pass protection, and get off the mark.
Looking at some of the linemen there. Stark, also Roberts. Brown Holtz, the center for the Georgia Bulldogs. Steve Roberts and Adam Meadows making up the rest of that group. And here they come. First down at the 15. And again, Bowie, the only setback. Great start for Zier tonight. 6 of 8 for 51. Shotgun, zings it out in the flat and has it complete. And Mike Adamley, let's check in with you.
Well, the shoulder pads of them were 75. Shannon Brown, defensive tackle, empty. His right shoulder wrapped in ice. Preliminary report, dislocated shoulder. They're going to see how it responds to ice treatment, but from my vantage point, it does not look good for him returning to the game.
Mike, in a report that I got at the practice field the other day, simply put, they say he's just been playing out of his mind. A big sophomore at 6'5", 280, so they will miss him tonight. That's one of 11 rotating on that down 4 for Alabama. Draw play to Boyd. Breaks the tackle, and he'll fight for 5 more yards. Mike Tirico, let's go to you.
Ron, good start there for Eric Zier. Tony Graziani, the quarterback for Oregon, filling in for Danny O'Neill. Great start against Southern Cal. Kristen McLemore, the touchdown, and the Ducks lead by 9.
6.5 minutes left in this opening quarter. Alabama's defense creeping up. Hines Ward, if he breaks it, he could go. They caught him at a short yardage blitzing situation, and he's off and running at the 35, at the 30, and inside the 30 to the 28. Mike, they caught him in the right call.
This is what Georgia didn't do against Tennessee. They never established a running game. They're able to run the football here early tonight. You see, there's nobody really over the tight end here. So everybody blocks down, and you got the sweep to the right side. They caught him They caught him in a defense that was all really messed up from the start. Larry Bowie with a good block.
You could see Deshae Townsend took a pounding from his own teammate. That's a gain of 49 yards. Gonna have to hurry. Just got it away. Straight ahead with the handoff. Bowie will be stopped for nothing. Brian Thornton steps up to make the hit on him.
Ron, it's still a good play. I don't care if they gain 0 yards on it. That's what they have to do to take pressure off number 10. The threat of the run has to be there. Well, they caught Alabama. You were right defensively. Alabama didn't have anybody lined up on the tight end on that long run by Hines Ward. Just caught him in a defense. They were aligned wrong. Georgia's play selection, exactly what they have to do. 9 passes, 9 runs.
Second and long. Pressure from the outside. Over the middle. Has it complete. Ball is loose. Picked off in midair by Alabama. At the 27, it's Eric Turner.
When you think about Alabama football since Gene Stallings has arrived, you think defense. Now, the defense has given up yardage, but here they make the play. They get, first of all, get the hit. Dwayne Rudd, number 87. Eric Turner recovers the football. Now, what do you do with it once you get it?
Barker with play action. Rolls the pocket and has it complete. Todrick Malone is being gang tackled, but I think he had the first down on the reception. Muschamp makes the hit initially.
What makes this play is the fact that George has been watching tapes of Alabama's first 4 games, and who do you have to stop? You have to stop the painter, Sherman Williams. So the linebackers are all sitting in here. They're worried about this tailback right here. So when you play action fake with the tailback, look at him sit in there. That opens up the void right behind him. Sherman Williams, give him credit for that completion. Sherman Williams is a painter, right?
Well, it's a little different. It's a little different name, but they appreciate the commercial. They don't spell the first name the same way. That was Bowie on the sideline. I'll tell you more about him as a great defensive play. His length is upended by Randall Godfrey. Mike, he was injured on the play. One of the things that has to concern him after the injury right here, remember, he had early fumbles, and that's the reason they took him out of the starting lineup. He fumbled against South Carolina. He also fumbled in the second game. They put him on the bench, and they thought everything was fine to bring him back.
He's had big games for him in the last couple ball games, though, and they played him, like we talked about earlier, at fullback and tailback.
Second down, whips it complete to Curtis Brown. Ball is loose, and he held on.
Ron Homer Smith is a new offensive coordinator here. I think he's an outstanding football coach. When we sat down and talked with him Friday, he said, I'd love to see the quarterbacks have success early because the opposite has happened 2 out of the last 3 games. Now, it didn't get a good start, but just a nice little drive for him here.
Right. This could be world first confidence. Third down, and the line to make is the 47 and a half. Pass is caught again, Malone. And boy, that middle short zone has been there all night long. Buster Owens defensively.
Well, the Georgia linebackers are saying, where is Sherman Williams? I mean, we're looking for him, and you're throwing the football. This conservative plan, it's not here. Again, watch the linebackers. It drops because the area behind the linebackers is the open area that they've been able to hit. Todrick Malone, number 80, sitting right in behind the linebackers for the first down.
Sherman Williams. Who does he get tagged? Mike Tunico, what do you have for us?
Well, Ron, after starting 0-2, Louisville won at Arizona State. Today against Pitt, big play here. Marty Lowe to Chris Fitzpatrick beats the Panther defense 54 yards. The Cards back at 500 with a 4-point win.
Boy, and they had to come from behind in a tough one. Thanks, Michael.
They had to come behind against Arizona State to win that one, right?
Yep, they did. We're about to go under 2 minutes here. And our situation, Georgia 7, Alabama nothing. It is a second down with the line of scrimmage at the Georgia 42. And this is the first time that Alabama has been across midfield. Here comes the reverse. Marcel West looks for a block, gets one, trips over the foot of his blocker, but he's to the 31-yard line.
You know, Ron, in the conversation with Homer, you see him in the middle there. He said, we've been ahead in close games that we were favored to win. He said, so we chose to play to the defense. We haven't thrown as much on first down. We haven't done some of the things I'd like to do, but we need to do them because we're going to start playing tougher competition.
Mike, that was big Joel Holiday, a 6'5", 295-pound freshman who was outside holding his block and allowing the extra 9 yards to be picked up. Williams again as the flag comes down, and he'll be stopped just across the 30.
Flag is down. Daniels made the tackle.
Illegal shift on the offense. Player went in motion before his teammates were set.
So Gene Stallings conversing with Jay Barker on the sideline. Mike, head coach is just very open on Thursday on the practice field. He said, you know, we're 4-0, and for that He said, maybe I'm grateful more than I'm appreciative, but he said, we're just still not playing well on either side of the football. He said, we're just not there to the mode that we know how to play.
Well, sometimes you play to your competition, so we'll see if they step it up tonight.
Pulled it down, swings it into flat, and Sherman Williams is going to be tackled after a gain of about 6. Greg Bright, another youngster who is out of Moultrie, Georgia. In fact, Moultrie, Georgia is the hometown of the head coach. And this is a young man that he knew the parents, went to school with both of them. And when the kid decided to sign with Georgia, then he almost joined the Army. Said he wasn't sure if he could play Division I competition, but changed his mind and decided that, yep, he could make this move. Greg Bright. Running play with Williams, and he's going to be collared. Travis Jones this time.
Play a face mask on, so Alabama may pick up some yardage here.
Yep, that's it. Barker, by the way, off to a 6 of 6 for 41-yard start.
Incidental face mask on the defense. 5-yard penalty. End of the run. Defeat. Second down.
Ray's so nervous he's eating grass.
I know it. Mike Adamle, what do you have for us?
Well, you know, Ron, Alabama's margin of victory in its last 3 games has been 9 points, not nearly enough for the football rabid Alabama fans. The offense has been the topic of great concern here in Tuscaloosa, and Jay Barker is cleanly aware of the critics.
Hard to...
I really don't worry about the criticisms and stuff. I realize that I'm in an offense that's been playing very conservative, and as a quarterback, I don't have the opportunities a lot of quarterbacks have to throw up the numbers, to complete, throw a lot of passes. In games that I've had that opportunity, I've performed very well. As a quarterback, I've said this before, it's like shooting a basketball. You got to get into a rhythm. And I really don't have that opportunity, but that's something I accept, and that's the position that I take.
Well, that's the end of the first quarter with our score. The Georgia Bulldogs 7, the Alabama Crimson Tide, nothing.
I want to tell you about my home far away. My mother and father are there.
Strengthening the links of communications requires capital. In the last 3 years, Merrill Lynch raised over $50 billion for communications companies around the globe. We connect investors to opportunities and the people of the world to each other. For them, it makes a difference. The difference is Merrill Lynch.
We asked these women what they think about the new Sicilian-style pizza from Pizza Hut. Wow, they love it! New Sicilian-style pizza from Pizza Hut. A little basil, oregano, and a touch of garlic baked right into the crust for a pizza crust like you've never tasted before.
Calmati, Rosalia. Che ne stai facendo uno spettacolo?
For $8.99, any second medium, $5 more.
A lot of little touches go into every new Plymouth Neon. A very powerful 132 horsepower engine, a spacious cab-forward interior, dual airbags, and a special Plymouth Neon chip-resistant finish. And oh, there's one more thing. Appeal. Say hello to Plymouth Neon at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Get ready for the season with Fall Car Care Days at Napa, where you'll find quality Napa parts at low prices. Right now, Napa halogen headlights are as low as $4.99. Champion resistor spark plugs are only 69 cents after mail-in rebate. And assorted Napa Car Care products are just $1.29 each. So pull into your nearest Napa Auto Parts store soon for Fall Car Care Days.
We keep America running. We keep America running.
Cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft, the cold one.
You shook me, baby.
For those who've discovered its smooth draft taste, the world is a very cool place. So get out of the old and get into the cold.
7-0. Georgia leads at the end of the first quarter, and as far as The time of possession, Georgia 8:30, Mike, in that opening quarter. Alabama 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
Except for the fumble, Georgia's been perfect.
Williams, he's going to be hit high by Randall Godfrey. And let's take a look at the key play of that first quarter, Mike.
Georgia was on the move again. Larry Bowie's going to catch the football, number 15, but cough it up.
Eric Turner comes away with it, and instead of Georgia coming away with points, they wind up with a turnover situation, and Bowie, they're still working on him on the sideline. In fact, Mike Adam, we understand you're close by. What can you tell us?
Well, Ron and Mike, Larry has his shoulder pads off. They say he sprained his shoulder, the AC joint to be specific, but they expect him back in the game.
Okay, well, no wonder he turned the football over if he got hit that badly that he was injured on the play. Ray Goff knows full well that sans that play in the first quarter, if they go on down to get more points, that in this house, which is very tough to win in against this Bama defense, that would indeed be an extra trump card. Short yardage, I don't know if Barker got it or not. Tried to go up over the top. And Marcus Williams is the first man who came there to hit it.
A quarterback sneak, you want to stay as low as you possibly can, unless you feel like you can get it, but you just make a bigger target when you leap over. So the way Eric Zier's playing, you go for it on fourth down anyway.
Isn't that the truth? This is the balance at the end of the first quarter here for Georgia as far as selection. 10 passes, 62 yards, 9 rushes, 76 yards.
Great balance by Georgia, great play calling. This is what they didn't have the night we saw them against Tennessee.
Against Tennessee, yeah.
I just think they come right back and with a quarterback sneak and just get a little bit lower and pick it up. But I just, when you're playing a quarterback that's hot like Eric Zier, this is no time for a field goal. I agree with the call. I don't care what happens on it. I'd go for it myself.
Fourth down, inches. Quick snap, straight ahead. He's got it. Kazi, Stevenson, Belcher, Harville, and McNeil, all 5 surging straight ahead, and their quarterback, Jay Barker, picking up the first down.
Ron, the interesting thing about a quarterback sneak tonight on 2 plays is that John Stevenson, who was the starting center, is now a guard. So now you have a new center, John Causey, in there, number 71. So that's who he went behind. He tried to go behind Stevenson, the left guard.
Counter tray. Williams. Couple, maybe 3. Marcus Williams took his feet out from under him, and Philip Daniels finished him off.
They had success with the play action, the bootleg type of plays where Jay Barker makes the play fake and then rolls. Try to find a tight end, maybe Patrick Hayden, Tony Johnson across the middle.
Pitch to Williams. You can see the blocker in front, and Georgia right there to stop it. Again, Randall Godfrey and Matt Storm and Mike Tirico. What do you got this time?
Well, we all know what happened to LSU the last time they were in the state of Alabama, the loss to Auburn. How would they bounce back? Jamie Howard and company against South Carolina. The touchdown pass to Eddie Kennison. Tigers by 7.
I have to admit, that's the first LSU pass I've seen thrown to the same color uniform in a while.
Every time they throw, there's touchdowns. You got to admit that.
That's the way it's been recently. One of the darndest things I've ever seen. Gonna throw straight in the pocket. Barker over the middle, complete inside the 10-yard line. Curtis Brown.
Ron, it wasn't pretty, but it was a completion. And that's all that matters. And that's why a lot of people like Jay Barker as the quarterback. 27-1-1 as a starter. This isn't pretty. Sidearm throw. Curtis Brown picks up the first down inside the 10.
Mike, the man who caught the pass, Curtis Brown, what a great story. He had the knee surgery. He still has his speed. It seems as though no ill effect for number 85 who caught that pass. Sherman Williams, boy, he gets blasted. Greg Bright, number 45, the first man to come up and hit him. Here's a closer look at Curtis Brown. It's always good to see that an athlete can come back from an injury, the kind of injury he had. He had to have complete remaking of the surgery, and they say no ill effects. In fact, the amazing thing is the coaches say they don't think he really lost a step. It doesn't happen with everybody.
No, it doesn't, and it's nice to, sure, Alabama feels nice to have him back to see Jay Barker 7 for 7, 51 yards.
Looking quick in the end zone. Looking for Curtis Brown, overthrown. Robert Edwards had the cover. That's a great matchup there. Edwards said to be the best athlete in that secondary for Georgia.
Here's the matchup. Just a fade pass just thrown too far out of the reach of Curtis Brown.
Had a step on him. You could see he was reading his eyes. So it's third down. Chad Key, number 19, comes into the ballgame. Here comes a reverse. Trip and gets away. He'll score. Terrence Lynch, and they had him for a loss.
Good call by Homer Smith. He went to an unbalanced line, ran the reverse to Terrence Lynch for the touchdown.
Michael Proctor knocks it home, and with 11:22 left until halftime, we are tied at 7.
State Farm presents the rules of the game.
We're talking about offensive pass interference. In this play, the receiver plays through a defender to get the ball. Is this legal?
As a new parent, my hours can be pretty unpredictable. I think a lot of the young parents that come into my office and talk about life insurance have a lot of the same needs and have gone through a lot of the same things that I've gone through. They're really looking for somebody to tell them about life insurance, to talk to somebody they trust. When people leave my office, I think they feel that, hey, this guy doesn't just know about life insurance, he knows about life, too.
State Farm is there.
We're talking about offensive pass interference. In this play, we have a foul, as the receiver played through the back of his defender. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot.
Rules of the Game has been brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
It's 10:15 in the Amazon, and a butterfly flaps its wings, which spreads pollen and causes a caribou to sneeze, igniting a massive stampede that adds wind to a mounting storm, which alters the global pattern of weather and creates a downpour that knocks out the electricity, so you couldn't blow dry your hair. With all that can go wrong in your day, isn't it nice to know you can rely on your Honda Civic?
ESPN's presentation of Saturday Night CFA is brought to you by Fannie Mae, showing America a new way home. And by American Honda, who's been making quality automobiles in America for the past 11 years. Bart Starr, Kenny Stabler, Joe Namath, the three, a part of the lore, the stories, the tradition of Crimson Tide football. And it's all here, 100 years of Alabama football in the Paul W. Bryant Museum, and it's located right here on the Tuscaloosa campus. Jay Barker on the sideline visiting with the Homer Smith upstairs, I would imagine, after the touchdown scoring drive, which ties that one at 7. Kick it off. The wild thing. Line drive to the 3. Bryce Hunter.
Okay, Ron, what happened here is the formation's into the boundary here, and there's only 2 linemen here, so it's unbalanced this side. They're going to run the reverse here. Now, Georgia really has this defended well. Greg Bright, number 45, he's got a shot to make the play. Look here, 3 defensive guys. Terrence Lynch into the end zone. Marion Campbell's probably kicking himself right now. I had it stopped, and we just didn't make the play.
Boy, they did. They didn't have 1 or 2. They had 4 different people. Imagine that's what Bright is thinking about right now on the sideline. I had my shot, and I'll let him get away. Hines Ward in the draw play. Ozell Powell, number 78, is down at the bottom of the pile. Mr. Powell.
Georgia continues to have success on first down. That's 5 yards there. So that puts you in the 2nd and 5 range. You got 2 downs to get that. So far, everything they've done offensively, they've been successful, except the fumble, of course.
Ward going to be knocked down by Cedric Samuel. And let's go downstairs and see what Mike's got for us. Mike?
All right, let's get you up to date on the Zier record watch. He had 62 yards passing in the first quarter. That now puts him in 2nd place on the all-time SEC career passing list. Past LSU's Tommy Hudson. He now needs 162 to overtake Shane Matthews.
Mike, on that last play, it appeared that Damian Jeffries was real close to being offside, which Alabama seems to have been 3 or 4 times tonight.
They must have the cadence down pretty well.
They really do. Zier's pass complete. Did he have the first down or not? Going to be close. That's Jerry German. Nope. Going to miss it by a half yard. Mike, I think he's hurt that shoulder again.
Looks like he's dragging it a little bit, carrying it there. It looks like it may have a little problem with it.
Dex Langley is the punter for Georgia, and he sends this one in order. Wow, Todrick Malone all the way back to the 12 and fumbles. Still looking for it. It is loose, and that will be, I believe, out. No, it's going to be Georgia football at the 15-yard line.
Didn't look to me like he really had control of it. Let's take a look at it. Todrick Malone never really has the handle, but now does the Georgia player get the handle before it goes out of bounds? Will Muschamp, number 30, they're talking about it right now, the officials, because it looked like to me, Ron, the ball's on the line from here. Take another look right here. So the ball's on the line. That's Alabama football. Good call by the officials. Ray's going to take a timeout because he wants to argue this, but
Ray would like to take stop action and see if that ball was on the line or not.
See, he wants the referee.
Here it is in stop action, Mike.
He wants the referee. The ball's going to be, the corner of the ball is going to be on the line right there before anybody really gets to it.
Exactly.
And you have to have possession.
Let's take a timeout. We are tied at 7. It's Alabama's football.
320 Oak Lane, Chattanooga, Tennessee.
There really is no place like home, and many Americans own theirs today in part because of Fannie Mae.
Here's 1807 Pearl Street, Oakland, California.
We make sure mortgage lenders have money to lend for homes, and we provide free information that can help you own a home too. But before you get an address, you'll need a phone number. Call 1-800-688-HOME.
Why do more Honda owners come back to Honda? Car after car after car. It could be state-of-the-art engine technology, or extraordinary handling, or maybe it's the feeling that Honda is one car maker that won't let you down.
Saturday at 7:30, the Florida State Seminoles take on the Miami Hurricanes. Need we say more?
Sports writers. Ever wonder how they pick football's national champion? It's a highly scientific process. It's time to settle it on the field. Introducing college football's national championship by Sega Sports. 32 top college teams going head-to-head. No sports riders, just great football action. College football's national championship, only on Sega Genesis.
Ron Franklin along with Mike Gottfried and Mike Adamle from a sold-out Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And Ray Goff is still pacing the sideline like a caged lion, but no good. That ball was on the sideline, and it's Alabama football. Sherman Williams, he'll take it for 3 tough ones. Godfrey is on the stop. Well, now for our Sega Sports Students of the Game for Georgia, senior scatback Bill Montgomery, majoring in social work and has a 2.6 GPA. And for Alabama, junior defensive tackle Shannon Brown. He's majoring in physical education and has a 3.0 GPA. Sega congratulates these fine student athletes. 8:39 until halftime. Alabama 7. The visitors from Athens 7. Draw play. Lynch, and he'll take it out across the 20 to the 22. And now a 3rd down situation, and they need the 31-yard line.
Georgia's defensive philosophy tonight is to crowd the line of scrimmage, force Jay Barker to throw. They're not going to let Sherman Williams loose, so they're going to play it close with 7, 8 people crowding the line of scrimmage, just telling Alabama, throw the football.
Yep. That was Tony Johnson, the number 2 tight end, who comes into the lineup. Number 5 is 6'5", 250, and of course for blocking purposes. Play action, they're going to throw it. He's looking for Malone, and it's incomplete at the 30-yard line. Stops the clock and also will bring on the punting unit.
There was talk this week, Ron, that we may see the backup quarterback, Brian Bergdorf, who has a good arm and can run, and so we may see him in here sometime in the first half.
You know, the other thing that Coach Stallings said about that, he was going to come in on the 3rd series, unless they were in a tight situation, which is just what happened inside the 20. He didn't want to put that kind of pressure on. McCraney with the fair catch called and makes it at the 36. So we'll take a break. And the defense of the University of Georgia, yep, they got to be very pleased right now.
Why does everybody make sandwiches at breakfast time when they'll just be all mushy at lunchtime? Well, the Little Store builds custom sandwiches every day with the freshest ingredients. It's like a picnic for lunch. Chips, 39-cent canned drinks, and dessert. With prices like these, how could you lose? Remember the Little Store for slush puppies, too, serving up 7 refreshing flavors. And refresh your very own tank with quality propane from the Little Store. No trade-ins here. The Little Store at the Junction in Dunlap.
Go ahead, make that last car payment, then get ready to really pay. Think about it, then head to Moss Motors in South Pittsburgh to make up your mind. That's right. Why visit Chattanooga to car shop when the largest inventory is so close to home? Ford, Mercury, Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, GMC truck. You'll find all of these at Moss Motors. Come on, what are you waiting for? Jump in that old car and go for a brand new car or truck from Moss Motors. Cedar Street, practically downtown in South Pittsburgh.
Painter known for his moody nocturnals of London.
Carol Yepremi, Cookie Gilchrist, Abe Gibbon.
Teddy Roosevelt's foreign policy was...
The Run and Shoot, the Wishbone, Crazy Legs Hers, the Button Hook, Norm Boulage, the Providence Steamroller.
Final question. The poetry composed by medieval knights.
Candlelight, Schuler. What is John Reagan's haircut?
We have a tie?
Yeah!
They do know football. ESPN's Emmy-winning pregame show NFL Game Day tomorrow at noon.
In 7:43 of game time, it's the GMAC halftime report. A busy, exciting day in college football. We'll have all the highlights and scores, including the game up in Syracuse, where Frank Beamer's Virginia Tech team did rally to take a lead. But Syracuse's running backs, Malcolm Thomas and Kirby Dardar, both over 100 yards. Dardar's score here helped Syracuse win its 4th straight game. Ron?
Mike, you know, when we did them, it was interesting to note both of those tailbacks are 4-3 runners.
I like that Syracuse team. They play it. They always come back in the 4th quarter.
Well, there's Brian Bergdorf, the junior, warming up, and we probably will see him on the next series. As we mentioned, coach didn't want to put him inside his own 20-yard line. The draw. This time he throws it and has it. Bryce Hunter has been just on fire. Let's take a look at the comparison to the quarterbacks tonight, Mike. Speaking of on fire.
Eric Zier, you can see 10 out of 12, and both of them throwing for good completions and 81, 51 yards. And Ron, the thing about Brian Bergdorf, getting back to that, when you have a quarterback and you tell him you're going to play him, and the first-team quarterback knows that, then you don't have a quarterback controversy. They know you're not yo-yoing them. They know you're designing it that way, so they feel a little bit better about that.
Ward, speaking of quarterbacks, he will be next year, but he's at a tailback this year because he can run like that, as he'll take it inside the 45. Willie Gasson will trip him up at the 42-yard line. Let's call it the 43.
Burton made the tackle.
Eric Zier just continues to lead. When his team was on the sideline, he was talking to him, just continually trying to up his ball club because he knows he's got a young group here with him.
Fun young man to visit with, and we mentioned in the Tennessee game. So very confident. Not cocky, but confident. Moving all over the place that time.
Legs are down.
No foul. Defense in the neutral zone. Offensive man in front of him came up. By rule, no foul. Repeat second down.
Ron, what is happening to Eric Zier is Alabama is trying to show him a different coverage. When he lifts his leg, Alabama tries to move to where they're going to be. They're trying to disguise in the secondary. When he's in the shotgun, they're trying to give him the last-second look. Then they move to their coverage.
Draw play. Hines Ward, and he got tripped up just enough by Damian Jeffries. If he had not, he might have had the first down.
Jeffries made the tackle.
Draw play slows down the pass rush of Alabama. Damian Jeffries, number 91, is just able to get his hand on him. Georgia, 5 out of 6, third down conversion.
You know, Mike, the forecast for later tonight is an 80% chance of rain. Scoring in this first half might become even more important.
Very important.
Shovel pass. Hines Ward. He has the first down as he goes inside the 37 to the 36-yard line. Sam Shea defensively for the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Another running play. When you expect the pass, the shovel draw, which is just like a running play for you, slowing down the rush of Alabama. They've been running the draw on first down. This would be an excellent first down throw down.
Well, now Bill Montgomery, number 13, checks into the lineup. The Sega student athlete of the game for the Georgia Bulldogs. Middle screen. Flag is down, and Jeff Thomas will take it close to the 27-yard line. Willie Gaston stops him, but let's check that marker.
Side, on the defense, penalty decline, second down.
Well, coming up on Thursday, 7:30 Eastern Time. It's the weekend kickoff show for previews and predictions of the upcoming weekend games, and then followed by number 22 ranked Kansas State against Kansas. That's this Thursday, beginning at 7:30 Eastern Time here on ESPN. Our score is 7 apiece as we're about to go under 4:30 left until halftime. Short drop, quick pass. Sherman, boy, does he get cracked hard by Tommy Johnson.
Hold the ball! Baby. Hold the ball! Protect the football, Jason!
Ron. Ray saying hold the ball, and his receiver said, he said hold my head.
Yeah. Ron, the excellent game plan by Georgia, because everything they're doing is to frustrate the rush of Bama. Because everything's a short pass, they're not able to get there in Zier. They can't even get close to him. When you talk about something that frustrates the defensive line now, but the quarterback is so quick getting rid of the football.
Really kept them off balance, haven't they?
Really have. This has been an excellent game plan on both sides of the ball for Georgia in the first half.
That was great. Ray, hold the ball. And I'm sure Durbin was, Coach, I'll get the ball, you get my head. We'll pick them both up.
It's easy for Ray to say.
First down from the 24. Going to go to the end zone. Looking for the man. He's got it. Touchdown, Hassan Graham. And Mike, at the end of the replay, you may see just a little push-off by Graham to get the space he needed.
But Tommy Kaufman here from Jacksonville is watching Eric Zier. You've got to be impressed with number 10.
Parkman with the extra point is good. And Georgia breaks the tie with 4:16 left until halftime. The Dogs go on top 14-7.
Really the first pass that Georgia's thrown the ball down the field. Eric Zier knew exactly where he wanted to go to the football. Hassan Graham, number 4, just outleaps Tommy Johnson, number 10. It's another look from the end zone. See, he's reading coverage all the way. He looked to the right just to throw people off. He knew he was going to come backside to Hassan Graham from the time he left the center. Good look off by Eric Zier.
And a perfectly thrown pass. It's Tommy Johnson on the sideline and Eric Zier on the other side. 14-7, Georgia.
Now to be interesting, Ron, to see if Gene Stallings brings Brian Bergdorf into the ball game. Now,
Because
Jay Barker really hasn't done anything wrong. He's played very well, but do you bring in the second guy, the second quarterback, to give him a series here before the half? We'll see what happens.
Well, it would appear since he is buttoned up, he's got it all.
Well, he's standing next to Woody McCorvey, and Woody gets the play calls from Homer Smith, so it would appear that we're going to see Brian Bergdorf.
The 7-yard line. Gibson powers his way to the 31. Mike Tirico, let's check with you one more time.
Ron, it's really raining in Baton Rouge, but no excuse for this. Handoff to Jermaine Sharp. Looks like South Carolina's got him stopped. Gets out of the way and gets into the clear. A 36-yard score. The Tigers lead by 8. Steve Tannehill out of this game because it's raining so hard they can't throw.
You know, we saw one of those down there, Mike. We had Florida State against LSU 2 or 3 years back, and there was danger of people being on the ground too long that they could have drowned. So Bergdorf is in the ball game. You see his numbers. 6'2", 200, a junior out of Cedartown, Georgia. going to throw on first down. Zings it too high, looking for Todrick Malone. Mike, why is it everybody loves a backup quarterback?
Well, they always like the underdog. I think that's the reason. And but Brian Bergdorf really isn't a backup quarterback. He was the MVP in the Gator Bowl against North Carolina, beat a good North Carolina team in that bowl last year. Homer Smith said he's not a backup. He has gifted speed. And almost every coach that we talked to said we have an eagerness to see Brian in the ball game.
And of course, he was number 1 in spring training as well. Short drop and a quick pass. Todrick Malone had it go through his fingertips. Muschamp had the cover, but it was too tall.
Ron, to me, the story of the first half, beside Eric Zier, is the fact that Alabama cannot run the football. With much success against a defense that has given up a lot of yardage on the ground. Alabama can't find the key to this Georgia defense. They cannot run the football.
You know, to me, one of the keys tonight, though, which Georgia was not doing early, their defense is not having to stay on the field all night. They're playing ball control.
Exactly right. You look at Sherman Williams, he's averaging 152 rushing. And I'm not sure he's not even having any long runs at all here in the first half.
Third down. Bergdorf over the middle, incomplete. Turner's who he's looking for. Godfrey with the cover. And that's going to be 1, 2, 3, and out.
Randall Godfrey. Good, solid linebacker for this Georgia defensive football team. And only twice in 11 games last year, Ron, did they hold an opponent under 20 points. So Marion Campbell really has helped a little bit here, plus defense a year older.
Williams, 8 carries, 11 yards.
That's been the difference to me in this first half.
Gills kick into the wind, and fair catch is called for by McCraney. 3 minutes and 47 seconds left until halftime. Georgia 14, Alabama 7. Gene Stallings paces on the sideline.
Eric Zier's a superstitious quarterback. He picks out the football on Thursday that he wants to use in the game and just keeps it with him.
Shannon Brown is back in the defensive lineup for Alabama, number 75. So that's good news for Crimson Tide fans. Running play. Hines Ward going to be knocked down for a loss. And I'll tell you, Alabama's getting the quickest start across the neutral zone with no flags that I've seen this year. They really have the count down.
They're like racehorses. When that gate opens, they're gone. Gene Stallings trying to decide exactly what he'll do in the next series with which quarterback.
Zier has it complete to a speedy Hassan Graham. Gets a block and is going to be bumped out of bounds inside the 30.
Here's what happens on this play, Ron. We'll see if we can stop it here as we go along. Here's Hassan Graham catching the football. Now what you stop it right here. Now what you want to do if you're Alabama, you want to form a picket fence and you want to force him back inside. But they do not do that on this play. They get caught inside. And thus the extra yardage. Juan Daniels, number 12, with a block. He just made a mistake and left him outside.
That was Deshae Townsend who knocked him out of bounds. Deshae has been suffering from an injured back, and he is still down at the 29-yard line. You could see the cross-body block that he threw on him to take him down, and you have to wonder if that's not what he has aggravated there. Mike Adamle, let's check in with you.
Well, Ron, you mentioned that great pantheon of Alabama quarterbacks, Namath, Stabler, and this man, Bart Starr, before the game, a special award, the Paul W. Bryant Athlete Alumni Award. You've got so much hardware at home, so many accolades, but I know this one has special meaning.
It really does. I didn't play for Coach Bryant. That makes it even more special to me.
Your impressions of the game, and particularly Eric Zier.
It rhymes with fire. That's exactly what he has going for him tonight. He is red hot, and we're going to have to get something going, Alabama. We're going to have some disappointed fans. They're playing extremely well.
You know, you weren't the tallest quarterback in the world, and one of the knocks against Eric being a high #1 draft pick is his height. What about that whole theory?
Well, I think when I was playing, it had some validity. Today it may have even more because, as you and I both know, they are even taller today. But the way he can throw it, I think they can find ways that he can overcome that.
Art, great to see you. Congratulations on your award. Thanks for joining us. Bart Starr, one of the classiest guys you'll ever want to meet. Ron and Mike?
Now, that is for sure. That's some great football teams, not just here at Alabama, but, of course, with the Green Bay Packers.
Talk about a school with quarterbacks, Ron. This school right here, of course, my favorite is the left-hander, Kenny Stabler.
Yeah.
He's my favorite. Favorite in college and the pros. But they've had some good ones.
So they are having to help Deshae Townsend off the field. And the freshman, as we mentioned, has been bothered by a back injury. And you have to wonder, as gingerly as he is being, as he's going off the field right there, if that maybe not the reoccurrence of that problem. He's a punt return man, besides starting at right corner tonight, so we'll get an update on him. 43 yards in the last play. First down from the Alabama 27.5. Zier has hit 10 passes in a row. Pressure on the running game, and then Hines Ward comes out of it and picks up a couple. Matt Parker finally corrals in. About to go under 2:45 until halftime. Georgia by 7.
Georgia's plan's been perfect, Ron. They're keeping Alabama off balance. Alabama on defense just can't get in a rhythm against this Georgia offense. Every pass is short. They go deep for the touchdown pass, and he's 58 yards.
Hines Ward right up the middle, breaks it big at the 10, at the 5. First and goal, Georgia Bulldogs. Samuel got a hand on his ankle.
Hines Ward was a heavily recruited quarterback and decided to go to Georgia. Ask him to move to tailback to help the running game. See what type of athlete he is. Here's a quarterback making those moves. Good block by Troy Stark, number 75.
Listen, this offensive line, as Georgia calls a timeout, has been, I think, misread. They're having a really outstanding ball game tonight. We'll take a timeout. We'll be right back.
No matter where I park, it draws a crowd. It's a 55. It's a 55. 55. 55. This is one of the last real classics of our time. What do you think of the bumper, huh? Everything's original. And I take care of it myself right down to the oil and the Purolator filter. Pure oil now. It's a 55. So when someone asks me how I've kept up the engine, I just show them the Purolator. Purolator. I don't think you'd all fit. Legends live. 55. Purolator, Purolator.
A hologram captures all the information about light. You can see different things from different angles. That 3D effect. Help me, Obi-Wan. DuPont makes film that makes holography possible. Everything you can imagine doing with a hologram is sort of fun. In the future, holography could be used in book illustrations that pop to life. Heads-up displays is a way for motorists to save their eyes from fatigue. That kind of everyday problem is really what we do at DuPont. I've never thought anything was impossible.
I bought my car new in 1970. I drove a hockey team a 190-mile round trip 3 times a week.
Haviland Formula 3 from Texaco.
I took good care of it. And when I reached 300,000, I thought, I've got me a pretty good car.
No other leading motor oil offers more complete protection to help your car run better, last longer.
At 600,000, I thought, maybe it could be the Haviland.
Haviland Formula 3. Why add just any motor oil? Add more life to your car.
Well, the defensive players of the Crimson Tide asking the fans to come alive and make a lot of noise. But this man's football team is at the 6-yard line with a first and goal. Mike, I think one of the great differences in this first half, we talked about this offensive line has played extremely well tonight. But the defense of Georgia has only had to play 23 snaps tonight. First game of the year, 91 snaps. 84 that second week in the game we saw them against Tennessee.
Well, Ron, we talked about it at the opening. Ray Goff had to protect Eric Zier. They haven't got to him one time. had to develop a running game. I think they've rushed for more yardage running the football than Alabama. And the third, they had to have good success on first down, and they've owned first down against Alabama.
Well, let's see what happens right here. First and goal from the 6. Straight up the middle, maybe one. Selma Calloway, the redshirt freshman out of Colquitt, Georgia, got the call that time.
Calloway, ball carrier, 1 yard.
Simpson checks into the lineup, number 43. Draw play. And it's going to go for nothing. Mike Adamley, let's go to you. What do you have for us?
Well, Ron, Alabama knows they need a stopper, and Shannon Brown is back in the game, but he's playing in a lot of pain. Again, a dislocated shoulder. They fitted him with a protective harness that prevents him raising his arm above his shoulder. But 75 is back in the game, and you can see that right arm, the tape underneath the shoulder pads.
Okay, Mike, we had mentioned that he had come back in, and as we said, the coaches said he'd been playing out of his mind. So obviously he wanted to come back, and they wanted him to come back. Third down and goal. The ball just outside the 5. Over the middle, touchdown. Did he hold on? Yes, Bryce Hunter.
Georgia.
Parkman knocks it home. And with 57 seconds left until halftime, it is 21-7 Georgia.
Ron, notice that they have 4 wide receivers, but here's going to be the catch. A quick slant from Eric Zier to Bryce Hunter. They really trying to spread Alabama out down here. Just a quick slant pass, but look at the ball. It's delivered low and inside. It's against Eric Turner, 39. A well-thrown ball by Eric Zier.
Right now, I'm sure that record is big to him, but what's even bigger is that scoreboard and his team on the road in Tuscaloosa, up by 14.
And when you talk about that, he's 16 for 18, 3 touchdowns. But when he talked about records, he said, I'm not interested in records. I'm interested in winning football games. And again, that toughness of a quarterback that you like.
He also has gone to 7 different wide receivers tonight, so they have spread the wealth. Craig Ford will kick it off this time for the Georgia Bulldogs. And remember, we told you in the Tennessee game, he transferred from Western Georgia, but had been a walk-on, was on the field the week before their opening game. One of the coaches saw him kick and said, you need to walk on because you got a great leg. So he did, and now he is on the special teams.
Ron, you look as a coach, and I'm sure Ray Goff feels good. Not sure what's going to happen in the second half, but you want to see improvement in your ball club. His ball club has improved from the time we watched him against Tennessee on both sides of the ball.
Yep, they really have. Well, the ball keeps blowing off the tee. As soon as we get this thing kicked off, Mike Tirico is on edge, back at the studio, waiting to bring us up to date on another score. Ford is now talking to him. Jay Barker ready to come back out with 57 ticks left on the clock until halftime.
I think Mike Tirico's going to sit on the edge of his chair, is what you mean?
I'm sure he is. There's Sestiger. And to the 21. And now, Mr. Tirico out of the wings and on stage.
Well, I know some people who are on edge. That's Southern Cal fans. Not only is their team trailing, but Rob Johnson injures his ankle when being sacked by Paul Jensen. Came out of the game. He's walking on the sidelines. We'll update his condition at halftime. The edge of night continues.
Boy, that goes without saying. The Trojans can't have him on the shelf.
Georgia, coming into this football game, allowed 200 yards rushing Tonight, the key, I think, in this football game is they stop Alabama's running game cold.
Fakes it to Williams. He's going to go over the middle and has him open. It's Curtis Brown to the 37. And now let's see what kind of clock management the Crimson Tide could come up with.
They still have all 3 of their timeouts.
Flushing out of the pocket, and he underthrows. That'll stop the clock with 37 ticks left.
Record save intended for Sherman Williams. Incomplete.
No, coming up at a halftime, another Colorado spoiler. The top 25 upsets today, and the Heisman Watch. All of that and more at halftime, which is about 37 seconds away.
I didn't get to see much of the Texas game, but John Makovic seemed to have them ready down there. They had a great plan and pushed them to the limits.
Field goal at the waning moments in the Buffaloes. Are they a team of destiny? Now he's going to throw. And complete. Stepping out of bounds is Curtis Brown at midfield. That only took 7 seconds. Philip Daniels with good pressure from the right side.
Johnson defending for Georgia. First down, Alabama. Ball is midfield.
He is in the game. Sidearms it out. Did he hold on? They say yes at the 40-yard line.
Good catch. Curtis Brown, number 85 again. And, Ron, this is where last year David Palmer would be showing up on the field. Everybody had to double cover him. And, of course, Alabama's pointing to the clock. They lost some time here.
Well, the stadium clock will show 13 seconds. Gene Stallings conferring with the officials. I don't know if he's going to get more put in the bank or not. But at least they get an opportunity with the called timeout. And according to our numbers, Alabama still would have 2 timeouts left. In this first half, throwing the football, Alabama, the favorite receiver so far, has been Curtis Brown. 5 catches, a total of 60 yards.
Well, they have big shoes to fill with David Palmer leaving. He was their offense.
So time is back in. Here's the situation. 13 seconds left until halftime. Georgia 21, Alabama 7. It is a second down at the Bulldog 41.5 or 40.5-yard line. Barker over the middle, got him open. Goes to his tight end inside the 20 into the 15 is Tony Johnson. 5 seconds showing on the clock.
Ron, Tony Johnson had made that catch. When he visited here, his hostess was a girl named Tanya. She was the Bama Belle. She showed him around the campus. After she showed him around the campus, he said, I'm going to marry her. He told the coaches. And he didn't even make his next visit to Tennessee, came back and married her. He came to school here. Not only married her, he made a big catch here.
26 yards on the reception. And what has happened now with only 5 ticks on the clock, Michael Proctor will come on and attempt the field goal, which should be in the vicinity of 32 yards.
It's been a good drive by Jay Barker.
Well, don't forget tomorrow, noon Eastern Time, Game Day. Visits with Don and Dave Shula. They vacationed this summer and anticipated the meeting on the football field. Tomorrow, the long-awaited day arrives, and Game Day will bring you some of the Shula's conversations. And then 7 o'clock, NFL Primetime. Chris Berman, Robin Robertson, Tom Jackson for wall-to-wall highlights. All tomorrow, right here on ESPN. Parker gets a long time to look this one over.
Georgia's got a timeout yet, too. They may use theirs. A nice time to ice him again. They're not going to use it.
They're going to put the ball down at the 23-yard line. Now, Philip Daniels, number 89, came very close to getting to an extra point a while ago. Ball is down. Kick is on the way. It hit the upright and went through.
If we got the same clock operator that was at Michigan State today. Saved them at 1 second.
Chester Lewis is the man who was shaken up in the play as you take one more look at it.
21 to 10.
Chester is the man who handles the long snaps. That's the reason Proctor was coming over talking to him. And he bangs that right upright. It's just like a pinball machine. It comes through. We'll try to get a report on Chester Lewis, but that's the man that Proctor was waiting to visit with on the sideline. Chester's a walk-on, tight end / deep snapper. Mike, I think from a momentum standpoint, that's an awfully big situation for Alabama.
It's big, but you got to find a way. Two things at halftime. You got to find a way to stop Eric Zier, slow him down a little bit, but you got to find a way to run the football. You got to be able to get Sherman Williams in this game.
Eric Zier waits, and unless we have something strange happen, he will not be able to take another snap in his first half, as Watts will kick it off to the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Hunter Heath.
He's just going to line drive this one. And it will be recovered at the 18-yard line. And that's the end of the first half with our score. Georgia 21, Alabama 10. Now stay tuned for the halftime report.
At the Honda factory in Ohio, every Accord is given a bath before it's painted, a zinc phosphate bath. It helps fight rust and corrosion over the life of the car. Now, why do we go to such lengths? That's why.
You look at some of the wrecks and stuff that I've been in, we had a diehard in there at that time. We probably could have seen it from the grandstand because it tore all the sheet metal off. And we just take them out of that car and put them in another car and crank it up and go on. Diehard's still going and I'm not, so I guess they're a little tougher than I was. We used to have a lot of trouble with the big Hemi engines, and when they got hot, you had to push them off. So diehard was the only thing that would crank them up. It's the same kind of battery. You just go up to Sears and tell them you want a battery and put it in the car and crank it up.
You ready?
Yep.
What's this? We're playing on clay.
Right back.
It's mixed doubles.
Oh.
Outdoor court.
Is activewear becoming too specialized for you? Try Discus Athletic. Heavyweight sweats and tees. Just change your clothes once. To Discus Athletic, the way America plays.
This halftime report is presented by GMAC.
And we get you immediately underway. Checking out games in progress. Oregon taking on Southern Cal at Southern Cal and getting some running from Dino Filyaw against the Trojans. 49 yards, good block by the receiver. There's been a lot of that today. 10-0 for the Ducks in the second quarter. The lead is 10-7. Tony Graziani starting for Danny O'Neal. The touchdown pass to Kristen McLemore. 19 yards. The Ducks have just added a field goal, and they've knocked Rob Johnson out of the game, injuring his ankle on this sack. The blitz by Paul Jensen. Right now, Oregon leads Southern Cal by the score of 19-7 late in the third. The last time Oregon won at Southern Cal, 1971. Ahmad Rashad was Bobby Moore back then, and he was an Oregon Duck. Colorado State playing New Mexico, and right now the Lobos down 2 touchdowns as Colorado State tries to go 5-0 for the first time since 1977. We welcome you to halftime. Mike Tirico along with the coach and the Pony. Guys, how exciting a day was it? Of the top 25 teams that played, 21 of them, or actually 18 of the 21, trailed at some point during the day. So exciting. Let's tell the folks the hows and whys of all that, starting with Colorado and Texas. I'll tell you, Probably want to be a heart doctor in Boulder this year, the way the Buffs have been going. They've been taking each game right down to the final seconds. Of course, last week, today, against future Big 12 buddy, the Longhorns of Texas. It was a hot one in Austin, 108 on the field. Buffs up 4. Shea Morenz to Lavelle Pinckney, 9-yard score, 10-7 Texas. The story of this game, Rashawn Salam on the ground on the Cordell Stewart option pitch. Has a lane and has 6, 59 yards. Down to the 6-yard line. He had 176 yards in the first half. 21-10 Colorado at the half. In the third quarter, John Makovic, the coach of the Longhorns, getting beat on the scoreboard, getting beat up on the sideline by his own team. Not a way to celebrate your 51st birthday. Coach Mack was okay, and his team would come back. Morenz to Pinckney again, and the big receiver, tough to bring down in the red zone. They go for 2, make it. It's 21 all. Now the Buffs lead 24-21, and Herschel Troutman, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the game. The freshman, 31-21 Colorado. They have no Mike Adams to Texas, but they'll come back. Morenz to the other receiver, Eric Jackson, over the middle and through the Buffs secondary, 67 yards, a shootout, 31-28, then a field goal, ties it at 31. Colorado key drive, mostly Salam on the ground, and this swing pass, Rashawn picks up a big first down and more. They work it into the middle of the field and hold their breath at the end for Neil Voskerikian. It's the game-winning field goal. The Colorado Buffaloes win on the last play from scrimmage for the 2nd straight week, winning by 3. Look at the numbers for Salam as the Buffs win and move on to the Big 8 at a perfect 4-0. Nebraska in the Big 8 without Tommy Frazier, watching, sitting this one out. Wyoming had the lead at halftime, but Brooke Behringer runs the option effectively enough to get past Wyoming today. 3 rushing touchdowns as the Huskers got a serious scare. Your hats off to Wyoming. They played a very good game today. Lawrence Phillips, a big day on the ground, 168 yards, 3 scores as Nebraska is 5-0. Some upsets in the Big East. Frank Beamer and Virginia Tech looking for a 3rd straight road win. They won a couple of weeks ago at Boston College. Southern Miss before that, but at Syracuse, up 20-14. Kirby Dardar, he had 3 scores on the day. He and Malcolm Thomas, both over 100 yards. First time Syracuse has had 2 backs over 100 yards since the year they opened the Dome, 1980. The Orange have won 4 straight. Washington State's trip to Knoxville. This was a defensive battle. Here's the key play. Nilo Sylvan on the reverse, 62 yards for the touchdown. Tennessee takes a 9-6 lead. Another big play in this game, Craig.
4th and 1 at their own 45-yard line. Philip Fulmer decides to go for it. Peyton Manning barely gets it. It continued the drive. They went down and kicked the field goal to make it 10-9.
With that 10-9 lead, Philip Fulmer's defense had to hold up against Mike Price's offense. They try to come back. The pass by Chad Davis. Would it be another Cordell Stewart? No. He tried to throw it over the middle and lateral, but the player's knee was down before he could even get rid of the ball. And hats off to the Vols for a nice comeback effort. Tennessee 6 sacks on defense in their victory. Purdue and Illinois in the Big Ten, 4th quarter, Illini by 2. Corey Rogers, 7 hard-fought yards into the end zone. They go for 2 and get it. Purdue goes ahead 22-16 against Lou Tepper's team. 10 seconds in the game. Illinois has the ball. Johnny Johnson, the quarterback. Short pass to Ken Dilger at the 8. Turns the corner, gets to the 1, and John Jackson stops him as time runs down. Purdue 1 win last year, 3-1 now. The twin engines of Allstott and Rogers on the ground help beat Illinois by 6. When you look at the Colorado Buffaloes, this is starting to look like a special season, isn't it?
No question, Mike. They look like they might be the 1994 team of the destiny, boy. I tell you one thing, they're playing another one on artificial turf. What's that make it? In the 1990s, they're 38-4-4 on artificial turf. Why is that significant? The rest of their ball games are played on artificial turf. They're going to be tough to beat.
Mentally, they now know they can win any ball game they want. As for Tennessee, 2 points here. Tennessee had 6 sacks on Washington State's offense today. Washington State's defense had no sacks. And number 2, Philip Fulmer, I go back to him making that call at 4th and inches early in the 4th quarter. A lot of times the coach can have an impact in a ball game. In this case here, he helped Tennessee win the football game.
So Washington State loses, and now the only teams in the Big Ten and the Pac-10 that are unbeaten on the season are the preseason favorites, Penn State and Arizona. Speaking of teams from the state of Washington, we'll check out Napoleon Kaufman, his big day, as other Heisman candidates had big days as well. Those highlights are coming up as we continue. We're at the half, and Alabama and Georgia leads by 11.
This quality time was made possible by GMAC. With financing and leasing that can be arranged for your new GM vehicle fast, right at the dealership. Because GMAC believes you should be out enjoying your new car instead of waiting for it to be financed. GMAC, the expressway home.
Okay. Everybody knows US Air. Not everybody knows Konica. There. Now you do. Your experience with US Air. US Air's experience with Konica. Why you get on board with US Air. Why US Air is on board with Konica. So if you know this company, you should know this company. Because Konica has earned its wings from US Air. Thank you for your attention.
When you cold start your car, metal grinds against metal in your engine and may eventually destroy it. Get Slick 50, the world's #1 selling engine treatment.
Now get $3 cash back when you buy Slick 50 engine formula at participating retailers.
The temperature never drops below Zerex. That's very important to remember, especially at a time like this, when it's very deserted and very cold. Ah, you did remember Zerex Antifreeze. The temperature never drops below Zerex.
This halftime report is presented by GMAC Financial Services, the expressway home.
Eric Zier, 16 of 18, helping the Bulldogs up 11 in Tuscaloosa. As we continue at halftime, in the Pac-10 today, a couple of teams looking to avoid an 0-2 start, UCLA and Washington. 1979 was the last year that UCLA lost to both teams from the state of Washington. To avoid that fate, they had to go to Husky Stadium and beat Napoleon Kaufman and company this afternoon. They did. Up 17-3, Nappy takes the handoff, and watch him turn the corner. This is where the speed shows. Into the secondary, and then he's going to come across back the field. As Chris mentioned earlier, the start and stop right there. Gets the defense on its heels a little bit. A 79-yard run to the 1. They'd punch it in. Teddy Lawrence would do that. 227, a career high for Kaufman. And Washington hands UCLA a 27-point loss. Michigan on the road struggled in the third quarter, but Tyrone Wheatley, hey, he's back 35 for a $182. As the Wolverines win the conference opener. Miami had to go to New Jersey, and Doug Graber's team loses for the first time in Piscataway under Coach Graber. 21-point win. Miami, Florida State, this time next week on ESPN. The Florida Gators, #1 team in the country. Special teams helping out Terry Dean. It's up 7-0, and then it's a punt block. Kendra Malone blocks the punt. Fred Weary scoops it up and scores. Ole Miss actually came back to tie this game at 14, but then 24 straight points by Dean and company. Terry Dean, 19 of 32, 292 yards, did get picked 3 times. Ole Miss picked Zier 3 times, lost that game, lose here today. Tough game for Ohio State. Northwestern missed a 2-point conversion after their last score in the final minute as the Buckeyes win their conference opener. Lee, Michigan State beats Wisconsin by 19. Darrell Bevel knocked out of this game with a slight shoulder setback.
Right, a great win for Coach George Perlis. The state blitzes got to the Wisconsin quarterback, Darrell Bevel, as you said, was the difference in the ball game.
Craig Keyshawn Carter dislocated right thumb in this Penn State win.
Average winning score for Penn State, they're 5-0, is 52-17.
Ron Paul is very effective, gentlemen. As you see the numbers on the left, add to it Randy Kinder, 16 for 107, and the Irish are now 4-1. In the Southwest Conference, the nation's longest home winning streak now continues. 23 for Texas A&M, pushed very tough by a good Texas Tech team. And Craig, SMU, North Carolina had to come back Mike Thomas off the bench to throw a key touchdown to win.
Further proof the Southwest Conference has competitive teams. Tech, SMU, and Texas all lose close games to top 20 teams.
Lee, North Carolina State continues to row. Carlos King had a good game, and the Tar Heels get another victory.
I think North Carolina State is the second best team in the ACC. One reason, run defense. They're #2 in the nation in stopping the run.
They are undefeated. Oklahoma has just 1 defeat. Iowa State still winless, one of 9 winless teams in the country. James Allen, 16 carries, 2 scores for the Sooners. We continue at halftime in the SEC, where Air Zier has been locked in the first half. Hassan Graham helping him out to an 11-point dog lead.
We're doing it early, and we're doing it big. All remaining 94 Chevys have got to go. Even the pickup of the year is closeout priced. S-Series pickups start under 10 grand, and that's before you make your best deal. If you're looking for a truck that outpowers Ford and Toyota, you're looking at a new Chevy S-Series. prices will never be lower. That's a fact. So hurry on over to your Super Savings Chevy Geo team right away.
This is a test. This is a test of your local cable advertising system. If this had been an actual commercial, you would have seen a local business featured on this cable channel. If you're a business owner and would like to know more about this advertising service, call CRI at 1-800-264-6942 or contact Rosa Wayne directly at 942-6038. CRI, the best in quality video production and the most for your advertising dollar. That concludes this test of your local cable advertising.
We have a great tradition of quality and excellence. This university has been highly productive for a long time, but it has never been better than it is today. The standard at the University of Alabama in everything we do is excellence. When the world wants to know about the state of Alabama, they come to the university.
Shelley Fabre and Bill Fagabaki of Coach discuss sports and education.
We're all concerned about improving American schools. What advice do you have, Bill?
Sports.
Sports? No, we're talking about education.
Shelley, did you know that 96% of all high school dropouts were not involved in athletics or other extracurricular activities? Sports is a great motivator.
That's a compelling reason to support sports for boys and girls in high school.
Support America's youth through high school sports.
The GMAC halftime report continues. We take you to Baton Rouge. LSU leading 14-6 moments ago. Tannehill back in the game after the rain has stopped to Toby Cates. Right before halftime, a key score for South Carolina's Gamecocks, who go for 2 and miss, and at 3-1 right now. South Carolina trails LSU by 2. Arkansas, 5 touchdown passes in a game for the first time since 1936. Beating up on Vandy. Mississippi State, which plays Auburn next, beating up on Arkansas State without too much problem. Oklahoma State playing North Texas State out of 1AA and leading by just 7 in the third quarter. Northeast Louisiana, after their losses at Colorado, at Auburn, at Georgia, at Nevada, looking for its first win against 1AA Weber State in its first home game. Interesting story here in this Baylor-TCU game. Baylor had 11 offside penalties, still beat the Horned Frogs. Wake Forest, Rusty LaRue had a big passing day, as you see, completing passes to 12 different receivers in the 6-point win over Army. In the Big Ten, Indiana forces the Gophers to turn the ball over 4 of its first 5 second-half possessions. And Anthony Shellman of Louisville, a career best $160, as the Cards beat Pitt by 4. They host North Carolina State, an interesting game next week. We will get on the phone and get you more score updates as we continue at halftime with the Georgia Bulldogs leading Alabama by 11.
This quality time was made possible by GMAC. With financing and leasing that can be arranged for your new GM vehicle fast, right at the dealership. Because you should be out enjoying your new car instead of waiting for it to be financed. GMAC, the expressway home.
A new chapter has begun in Merrill Lynch's history in Asia. We are the first American securities firm invited to open an office in mainland China. Being there gives our financial consultants a different perspective, which makes a difference for our clients. The difference is Merrill Lynch.
Success in intercollegiate athletics has been a long tradition of the Southeastern continent. But that's not the only reason we're proud of our student athletes, coaches, and staff. We're just as proud of their involvement with United Way supported programs in their local community. By giving back, they're fulfilling one of the SEC's most important educational goals. And they're proving that a commitment to helping people in need is the mark of a true champion.
The SEC and United Way teaming up to make a difference.
The GMAC halftime report continues. Let's check out Aaron McNair, how Steve McNair is doing. He is playing in the Magnolia Classic, and look at those impressive numbers. McNair has set an all-time 1AA career record for total offense, 13,366 yards. You can see Aaron McNair at 1 Eastern on the Deuce next week. Gentlemen, of course, Aaron McNair, one of the Heisman candidates. The Heisman Watch heats up this first Saturday of October. Kijana Carter, we mentioned his injury, so his numbers down a little bit today. But, Lee, what about Terry Deans?
Terry Deans, whose next 5 home games are at home, now have 17 touchdowns. He's 10-0 as a starter. His team is #1. That sounds like winning Heisman numbers for me.
Cordell Stewart's numbers really overshadowed by the great performance by Rashawn Salam. But what about Napoleon Kaufman, Pony?
Yeah, as good as Salam is, Kaufman's the best running back in America right now. If Washington continues to win, he's a top 2 candidate.
And then Eric Zier, the impressive first half, missing just 2 passes. He's got Georgia in pretty good shape on national TV. That will not hurt. Remember, the Residents Inn Scoreboard Show after the game with all the scores and highlights. The second half is coming up.
Since Bill Clinton was elected president, this country's been going in the wrong direction. We have got to turn this country back around.
The Clinton liberals will do anything to defeat Zach Wamp. The idea of a true conservative like Zach representing you in Washington is more than they can bear. Zach Wamp stands firm against the liberal big government agenda of Bill Clinton and will vote with you on the key issues facing America. This November, elect Zach Wamp and send the Clinton liberals a message.
If you're serious about buying a new car or truck, the absolute best time to buy is now. During Ford's factory-authorized clearance, your Ford dealers have 95s on the way, so they're serious about moving out the 94s. And now, with the plan, drive new every 2 years. Drive Ford Taurus at $249 a month now. Taurus comes with dual airbags standard. That's $249 a month now. If you're serious about making your best clearance deal, see your local Ford dealer today.
If you are in high school and want to play sports at an NCAA Division I or II school, you must be certified by the NCAA Initial Eligibility Clearinghouse. Ask your coach or guidance counselor for one of these student release forms. Fill it out and send it to the clearinghouse. Remember, if you're not certified, you cannot compete as a freshman in NCAA Division I or II. For more information, call area code 319-337-1492.
21-10, our halftime score. And Mike Godfrey, there are some surprised people in this press box we've been talking with during the halftime intermission. But Eric Zier is not a surprise. 16 of 18, 3 touchdowns.
He's been perfect, Ron. He really hasn't made any mistakes. You're going to see the touchdown pass here. Hassan Graham is the outside receiver. He's going to run a vertical route. But here's where really what happens. The inside receiver runs a vertical route, ties up Willie Gaston, number 22. Eric Zier looks to the outside where he's got one-on-one, hits Hassan Graham for the touchdown. Pass chart, you can see that Eric Zier's had completions all over the field, but what set up the touchdown passes is the underneath routes. Really a good offensive game plan.
21-10, our halftime score. And Mike Godfrey, there are some surprised people in this press box we've been talking with during the halftime intermission. But Eric Zier is not a surprise. 16 of 18, 3 touchdowns.
He's been perfect, Ron. He really hasn't made any mistakes. You're going to see the touchdown pass here. Hassan Graham is the outside receiver. He's going to run a vertical route. But here's where really what happens. The inside receiver runs a vertical route, ties up Willie Gaston, number 22. Eric Zier looks to the outside where he's got one-on-one, hits Hassan Graham for the touchdown. Pass chart, you can see that Eric Zier's had completions all over the field, but what set up the touchdown passes is the underneath routes. Really a good offensive game plan coming into the night. They've kept Alabama off balance.
Mike, let me get you to do some guessing here. If you were in the locker room for Alabama, what do you think, just the things we just talked about as far as the running game and all, that's what Gene talked about?
I think that he's got to sell his team on, even though they're down by 11, they got to get back to run the football. And you got to have mix.
At the 5-yard line of this return, Gibson. Sherman Williams, and Mike, here's the rushing chart with him.
Came into the game averaging over 150 yards rushing. He's had 3 attempts inside for 5 yards. Outside, not much better. 4 for 4. They've got to find a way to get him loose.
Play action. Deep over the middle. It is caught just across midfield by Patrick Malone. Robert Edwards on the tackle.
Solid throw by Jay Barker. Now here again, we talk records. 27-1-1 as a starter, but what you have when you're 27-1-1, your players believe in you. A great throw to Todrick Malone, number 80. So they come out of the locker room and they're attacking on offense.
29 yards in the pass play. Straight back, pressure was on. Barker going to scramble to his left, and he makes that one complete. And oh, Malone really got punished because of the high throw by Edwards. I'm not so sure he wasn't trying to throw it away.
Number 80. It's a good completion by Jay Barker. Again, buying time. His route to the right was not open. You're going to see him. He doesn't force it in. Starts to move again. Made good decision. Now, against Arkansas, his scrambling on a pass play really is what caused the Alabama win. So he does scramble well, looks for receivers.
Second down, this is Williams. Breaks off a tackle and then is going to be wrapped up at the 35. Corey Johnson is the man who stopped him.
When you think of Alabama football, you think of running the football, Gene Stallings. And the fans now are back in this one, Ron.
Like the one thing I noticed as they start the second half, Stevenson had gone to guard. They put him back at center in the second quarter. Well, John Causey is back at center, and John Stevenson is back at right guard. Looks for the inner. Wide open. Somebody blew a coverage. Malone will walk in.
We talk about where you run a receiver, the outside receiver, you curl, and you take the inside receiver, and it's kind of an out-and-up route. Going for two.
Roll in the pocket, quick pass, incomplete. Sherman Williams is the man that he wanted. So let's take a break. 13-18 left in the third quarter. 21-16 Georgia.
Since Wendy's announced a new chicken sandwich,
Dave's buying bacon. That old fox.
everyone's guessing about the toppings.
Me, I think Virginia Ham. A little birdie told me it's going to be watercress.
It's guacamole.
What's the word?
Marinara sauce.
Yes.
Hey, I'm the coach. I'm telling you, it's got to be shiitake mushrooms.
Introducing Wendy's Chicken Bacon Swiss. A whole breast fillet, 3 strips of bacon Swiss, and a tangy sauce.
What's Dave going to put on top? Honey, I don't have a clue.
I just wanted to make it delicious.
The new Volkswagen Jetta GLX was built for the Autobahn, where people go 130 miles an hour. You, however, cannot. If you could, it would look a lot like this. And a little like this.
Oh, so it's my fault.
I didn't say that.
Well, then what do you say?
You don't listen.
You never change.
The new Volkswagen Jetta has an adaptive automatic transmission. It senses the way you drive and adjusts to fit your personality.
Maybe you are.
Maybe I'm not.
It's a shame we only make cars.
Hi, may I help you?
Yeah, I need some shorts to play basketball.
Indoor or outdoor?
Outdoor.
Full court or half court?
Half, I guess.
Pick up or play. Shirts or skin?
Excuse me?
Day or night, home or away, team or one-on-one?
Is activewear becoming too specialized for you? Try Discus Athletic. Heavyweight sweats and tees. The activewear that's right for however you play. Discus Athletic. The way America plays.
Horse or pig?
ESPN's presentation of Saturday Night CFA is brought to you by Discus Athletic, heavyweight sweats and tees. Discus Athletic, the way America plays. And by the new Volkswagen Jetta. On the quad in the heart of campus, the Denny Chimes, built in 1929, would march every quarter of an hour, and also the sidewalk around the landmark, the names and also footprints of every Alabama captain since 1947, and some pretty good ones also. But I think you can notice it's a warm night. It's not that warm, but Gene's already taking his jacket off here to open his second half. He's real warm. Barker, 3 of 3, 71 yards on that opening drive. William Watts, the wild thing, kicks it off in a line drive, picked up at the 10.
We're going to take a look at the touchdown pass, and we're going to watch the corner and the free safety. You want to stay as deep as the deepest. Now, here comes the motion man, Todrick Malone. We're going to see the route. It's going to be a curl route. There's a curl. Stop it right here. There's the curl route. Now, all three of these defenders jump the curl. Todrick Malone comes wide open for the touchdown pass.
Hines Ward, 5, 10, counted off at about 12 yards in the play.
Ron, here's what really the key on the other side of the ball is for Alabama. You have to pressure the quarterback. You're either going to cover or pressure. Alabama's not able to do either. Eric Zier, quarterback sacks none, a hurry 1, knockdowns none, interceptions none, fumbles none by Eric Zier. So they're not getting to Eric Zier.
Hines Ward again. Puts his shoulder down, and he'll have 5 more yards as he takes it to the 40. And Mike Adamle, what do you have to open this third quarter?
Well, yesterday, Ron and Mike J. Barker talked to us about the team's attitude, that they didn't quite have the same hate-to-lose attitude that the 1992 National Championship team had. And that was basically the thrust of what linebacker coach Phil Rousey had to say to his team. And what he told me, he said, hey, we're not missing any coverages or anything like that. We're just not playing hard enough. We don't hate to lose enough. He also mentioned that the defensive line may be having some trouble getting some signals out there. Ralph Staten, when he's in the game, will make the calls. But they just have to get straightened out. They're off balance, like you mentioned in the first half. Play harder. That was a theme.
Mike, on the field right now, Shannon Brown, who went down in the first quarter. Then they put the harness on him so he could not lift that shoulder and arm, is the man who is down again. And it looks as though it's a continuation of the same problem. And you have to wonder if we will see Big Shannon anymore in this ball game tonight. You commented, Mike Adamle, that he was playing with a lot of pain, and you could tell right there that the shoulder has been injured again.
Ron, I keep harping on first down, but here we go again. 5 yards for Georgia on first down. They've owned first down, and that sets everything up for the Georgia offense.
Kendrick Burton has come into the lineup, and it appears that he will replace Shannon Brown. Mike Adamle, let's go back to you.
He talked about Eric Zier's first half numbers, 16 for 18, 171, and 3 touchdown passes. Those are the first, incidentally, that Alabama has allowed this season. He is now 53 yards short of becoming the SEC's all-time leading passer.
So as Zier watches on here in Tuscaloosa tonight, 12:34 left in this third quarter. 16 of 18, 171 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Tough to be much better than that. And where he makes his throws, like the touchdown throw in the corner to Hassan Graham, he put it where he needed to put it, high. He throws the ball in the slant on the next touchdown, threw it low and inside. He's a pitcher with good control.
Shannon Brown, and it took a while for him to negotiate getting off the field. Shovel pass again, Hines Ward. Nice cut upfield, and he'll go across the 45 to the 46-yard line, and a Georgia first down.
Frustration of the defensive line, the hard charge, and then the shovel draw right up inside of you. Look at the hard charge. You think they're going to get there, and then all at once the shovel draw to Hines Ward.
Going to go up on top, see that one off the back foot, and it is going to be intercepted. And a flag comes out at the 19-yard line. Toddy Johnson got it, but Eric Zier, Mike, that is not a good pass. Threw that one off his back foot.
Ron, the first mistake he's made tonight, he had Bryce Hunter, the inside receiver. We're going to take a look. He was open. Bryce Hunter, number 88, is going to come open in this void right here. And Eric Zier, look at how open he is right here. But he chose to go outside to Juan Daniels. And there's the interception by Tommy Johnson. We talked about pressure. They finally got to him and hit him. Kendrick Burton, number 94, but a bad choice by Eric Zier not going to Bryce Hunter.
That could have been roughing the passer. The ball had been gone for a full count, if not more. Zier had completed 12 in a row until that interception. Williams falls forward for 3. Well, it was intercepted 3 times last week, and now 1 time tonight, as Ole Miss got to him 3 times. And I have a feeling he'd be the first one to say to you, I tried to go for too much.
Tried to get a little too much on that play.
On 32, we want to go back out there with
Barker under pressure, and Godfrey, wow, second time that they've been sacked tonight. Whoa. Is he? There are not many better in this country, are there?
When he was a kid, he played in the backyard. He said, I always wanted to be a running back. Tony Dorsett, Franco Harris, he said, but when I went to high school, I knew I wanted to be a linebacker. I wanted to be the Mike Singletary. See number 42 right here. Going to read the flow of Jay Barker and just run through untouched by Kareem McNeil.
If Kareem was kind of like a traffic cop saying, come on through, because he couldn't get through it.
The Olay block.
Pressure again. He's going to run it up into the pocket. At the 30, wisely slides down, and I believe that's enough for the Alabama first down.
Well, Ron, you talked about the crowd loves the backup quarterback. They love the starter right now. And that's, again, when you look at the guy, all he does is win. Now, maybe he doesn't throw the best pass. Maybe he doesn't run the fastest, but he's making things happen here in the third quarter.
Look at big number 74, Kareem McNeil. Lost 55 pounds between last season and this. He's now down to 273. Swings it out in the flat. Aaron Lynch going to be stopped. And let's check in with Mike Tirico. Michael.
Ron, I mentioned at halftime, a very efficient day for Ron Paulus, the Notre Dame quarterback. Here is a sample of his 11 for 14, 166-yard, 3-touchdown effort, 47 yards to Mike Miller. First time the home team has won this series in the last 4 meetings.
So Stanford falls to 1-2-1. Our football game, 21-16, with 9:10 left in the third quarter. And the eyes of an awfully good linebacker, Godfrey. Lynch is going to take it out over the 30.
You got to take your hat off to Marion Campbell tonight. He was out of coaching for 4 years. Said he did a lot of clinics in the 4 years. Studied a lot of film. On Sundays, he was a sideline coach sitting in his chair, and the highest paid assistant in the SEC at $106,000. He's earning his money tonight trying to defense this Alabama football team.
Third down. The line to make is the 40. Great route and caught at the 50-yard line by Todrick Malone. Made the inside move and came back with a Z out.
You're exactly right. And the move that he made to the inside really throws Carlos Yancey, number 20. Seeing some nice passing tonight out of both quarterbacks.
Mike, I think the last thing either one of us thought we'd see when we came to the stadium tonight was a scoring fest. Isn't that right?
Alabama's already thrown more passes than the crowd thought they would.
Barker, almost a great toss and catch as Marcel West couldn't hold on. Matt Storm, number 98, was the fellow applying the pressure. Remember, Matt is the one we talked about during the Tennessee game that has his own 800 number. He did that out of necessity because his phone bills up to the great Northwest, which is where he's from, were excessive, to say the least.
Said when he came in here last year to Georgia, he didn't realize the humidity was that bad, and he melted. And he really wasn't a factor last year.
6'5", 305. He didn't melt much, did he? With a counter tray, Williams. Now that running game is beginning to develop a little more as the passing game opens things up. About 6.5 yards in the play, and Gottfried on the stop.
The amazing thing in this ball game to this point has been the consistency of both teams to make third down. And to keep the chains moving and keep drives moving.
Curtis Brown and Todrick Malone into the lineup for the Crimson Tide on a third down. Pressure, pass is caught. Curtis Brown, and what a good job by Jay Barker to wait until the last moment to throw.
And Ron, you can't defend it any better than Carlos Yancey did, number 20. Team stalling likes what he sees. Carlos Yancey, number 20, against Curtis Brown, 85. And just that little pat, that last second pat, was what opened the route for Curtis Brown. Carlos Yancey's in good shape. First down, Alabama.
Blitz from the outside. Bright has a hand on him, and Greg will ground him. The third sack by Georgia in this ball game.
Talked about coming into the ball game tonight that Jay Barker had been sacked 13 times for 87 yards. It's just a missed blocking assignment. Looked like Kareem McNeil did not come out to block Greg Bright, number 45.
"16 quarterback sacks allowed in 91 pass attempts in 1994.
That's not very good.
Lynch. And he'll take it inside the 40. So it's got to be third and long. But again, number 1 was not there. Second option was not there, and then he found his third.
Well, when you've been sacked as many times as he's been sacked, you've got to make some good decisions back at the quarterback position. Really, he's not dropping back very deep. That's the other thing I noticed. It's a short drop for him, which means he's close to the line of scrimmage and the defensive lineman. Threw this pass off his back foot. You see him leaning back. He didn't get a lot on it. It was almost picked off by Corey Johnson, but Chad Key got to the football and moved inside to make the reception.
Well, you're right.
Off his back foot all the way. Didn't have anything on it.
Corey Johnson really had broken on the ball well, and for Key to take it away. As you look at some really great numbers for Jay Barker. Both of these quarterbacks. Super nice. Option play. This is Lynch. Inside the 20-yard line.
Ron, what makes this drive important is number 10 can only sit and wait to get back on the field. The best way to defend him when he's sitting there 17 for 20, 178 yards and 3 touchdowns.
21 Georgia, 16 Alabama. We've just gone under 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Quick count, and this time they go with the fullback and Lynch. Well, you can hear the pads popping up here as Matt Storm is there to hit him. And Mike, on this drive alone, 14 plays, that is over half as many as the Georgia defense had to play in the entire half. So the Alabama offense now playing the kind of control they're noted for.
And they have to, Ron, because of Georgia's offense. And their defense is not stopping Georgia, so it's become an offensive shootout in this football game.
Ball is tipped and almost. It's Travis Jones who got a hand on it, and John Causey was the closest Alabama player to it.
Travis Jones, the leader of the defense. Marion Campbell talked about him. Started out as a linebacker, now playing down.
So it brings up fourth down. And from where the ball is going to be snapped, which is the 18-yard line, Proctor is attempting a field goal of just beyond the 25-yard line. So let's call it a 35-yarder. Good snap. Plenty of distance and accuracy. With 4:04 left in the third quarter, a new score. Georgia 21, Alabama 19.
I'm bored. Let's count the palm trees again. Why are you looking at me like that, Iggy? You okay? Cut it out. You're weirding me, man. Stop looking at me like that, would ya? You're creeping me out. Cut that out, man.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Iggy, you're gonna twist my head off. Iggy.
So, what do you think?
You look tough to me.
You just don't see that these days.
I'm impressed. I want those qualities on our team. Think we can get them? Let's go ask.
Hey, that's Ellie's head scout.
Could you come over here, second son?
Yeah, you. Going to the show, baby.
Could you turn around? You know if these sweats come in teal?
Is that seam double-stitched?
You like the way it flows?
Looking for tough athletic wear? Get Russell Athletic. Get tough.
Flexible.
Time, it seems, has a short attention span. Your shoes wear out before you've broken them in. Your favorite restaurant changes themes as soon as you learn to like sushi. But the new Jetta, like all 94 Volkswagen cars, has the longest limited powertrain warranty of any car maker. You can count on it for 10 years. And as you probably noticed, a lot can happen in 10 years.
It's more than a game. That's where we'll be next Saturday night, 7:30 Eastern Time. Number 3 against number 13. Florida State was off today. And for Miami, what about Costa? 15 of 22, 264 yards and 2 touchdowns. William Watts, the Wild Thing, will kick it off for the Crimson Tide. Hines Ward at the 9-yard line. Look out, there's an avenue, and he got caught for the ankle. Going to bring it out on a nice return. 23 yards, and that's Brad Ford who tripped him up.
Good mix in that scoring drive. 7 rushes, 8 passes. 7:34 off the clock.
So the offensive line of Alabama discussing what's been going on in the field. They get a chance for a breather. Big Kareem McNeil looking back toward the camera, and everybody getting a well-deserved rest. 16-play drive by Alabama. Hines Ward, and he's still going strong. Mike, I'm going to tell you something. They may have second thoughts about making him a quarterback next year if he continues to improve this way.
Well, one thing about it, there's not a quarterback that has much experience other than Eric Zier, but really, Damian Jeffries, number 91, missed the tackle. He was in the backfield against Hines Ward, just missed the tackle.
Hines, as you can see, is shaken up. He's over 100 yards tonight. 13 carries, 113 yards, and he has injured either his left foot or ankle. Bill Montgomery comes in replacing him. They fake it to Montgomery. Zier, complete. Bryce Hunter. And Zier got decked after the throw again. And he's been wincing a little bit after a couple of hits. One on an interception and the other on the completion.
Kelvin Moore, number 95.
I'm sorry, that's excessive. I'm sorry. That's got to be 15 yards. You've got to protect the quarterback. He's vulnerable. Montgomery stopped after no gain, probably a loss on the play, as John Walters from his middle linebacking spot comes up to make the hit. SC falls to Oregon today. So the Ducks now 3-2. Complete, and it's Graham. That's twice tonight that he's hit Graham in full stride. 25 yards on the completion, and even for a secondary as good as this one at Alabama, when that guy's full stride, it's tough.
See what Eric Zier's looking at, this safety, and he's running a very skinny post right here inside of the safety to Hassan Graham. He's watching the safety. See the safety work? The other side, he's able to come back to Hassan Graham, number 4, reading the free safety all the way.
First and goal, Georgia. Ward back in the ball game at tailback. Hines Ward will not make the 5. Good, tough hit by the Alabama defense. First of all, Damian Jeffries got there to make the hit on him, and I think you can see that Ward is not 100%. And very quickly, Bill Montgomery will come back in and spell him. Now 4 yards to become the all-time SEC passing leader.
Ron, the first touchdown they scored, they threw to the tight end and the running back away from the right side here. See if they go back to it.
Yep, right over the middle. Simpson, touchdown. He gets the record and the 6 points.
Exactly back to the same thing they scored the first touchdown on. Going to have the tight end go down, and the back is going to come inside. A B-angle play that Bill Walsh made famous out of Stanford and the 49ers.
So we'll take a break. Zier on his 20th completion tonight is the new all-time SEC leader.
You like potato and I like potato. You like tomato.
No matter how you say it, the tater logs at Be Quick Market are just 3 for a quarter. They go perfect with chicken fingers or even better with fried chicken. 8 pieces for $4.99. Be Quick also has fish 2 ways and chicken livers too. Visit us on Highway 8 just off 127 because you'll always find great deals on smokes. Be Quick Market, your hot breakfast and dinner time stop.
See it. Feel it. Play it. At Winkies.
Winkies Music Mart.
Easy. Cool. Rolling.
If you jam, head to Winkies Music Mart. Pikeville.
Your music will always sound better through a quality sound system from Winkies. For a free estimate, call 447-6307.
Great white shark is the most feared of all predators. Fueled by a voracious appetite, it relentlessly tracks its victims. Once the massive jaws grab hold, the shark begins ripping and tearing at its catch. Finally, using its immense size, the great white pulls its meal towards the depths of the ocean floor.
The Canadian Football League on ESPN2. It's wild.
Eric Zier has completed 15 of his last 16 passes. And in fact, he completed that one. It was intercepted by Alabama. But with the pass, as we mentioned, he needed 4 yards to get the record. And as soon as this kickoff is completed, we'll go down to Mike Adamle, who has a little more on that subject. 1:19 remaining in this third quarter, 28-19. Georgia on top. You can see that Alabama Crimson Tide defense sitting around the blackboard, in this case, the whiteboard on the sideline, and getting shots up. Finally recovered as nobody got to it, and you could see one of the special teams players really got racked hard. Let's go down to Mike Adamle. Mike?
All right, Ron and Mike, this Wilson 1001. Hot piece of property. It's on its way back to Buttsmere Hall in Athens, Georgia, the Georgia Hall of Fame. It'll sit next to the 2 Heisman trophies of Herschel Walker and Frank Sinkwich. And this man, Jeff Dantzler from the athletic department, is entrusted with it. So get back to Athens safely and don't let anything happen to you or that ball, Jeff.
Thank you, Mike. All the great tailbacks. Herschel Walker now has the SEC's greatest passer, Eric.
All right, kids.
9,290 yards. Shane Matthews is the man that he took the record from, and as you can see, Tommy Hobson, number 3 now on that list. They set the screen. Williams. And he's going to turn it into a big gainer. And Mike, at the last minute, the middle backer, you could hear, I think it was Williams who was trying to get the outside man to come off his blitz. I think he had read what they were about to throw.
I think he read screen all the way.
Will Friend with a very good block for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now playing at right guard. Williams hit by Storm, and that could be the last play of this third quarter. Sherman Williams. Been a tough one on him tonight. But as the passing game has really clicked, particularly here in the second half, it seems as though that the running lanes a little bit more available than they were in that first 30 minutes. Williams takes it for a couple, and that is the end of the third quarter with our score. Georgia 28 and Alabama 19. We'll be right back.
To a 7-year-old, velocity doesn't mean much. The equations that surround mass and momentum aren't as much fun as the song on the radio. And crash test dummies don't go on family vacations. But the people who buy Volkswagen Jettas do. That's why our engineers designed the new Jetta with dual airbags, front and rear crumple zones, side impact beams, and a rigid passenger safety cage. Velocity, mass, and momentum don't mean much to children, and we plan on keeping it that way.
When young policyholders come to me, I look at them and think, boy, that was me 15 years ago. I remember very well how quickly things changed for Debbie and me. Marriage, children, our first house. It's exactly why State Farm's family insurance checkups are such a good idea. Your agent helps you put it all in perspective so you can make the right decisions. The way you were 5 years ago is not the way you are today. It's comforting to me when I can say to my policyholders, hey, I've been there.
State Farm is there.
Mother Boyle and son Tim demonstrate their Columbia Parkas radial sleeves and zip-out liner. The Columbia interchange system adapts to any outdoor situation.
Every picture in my store tells someone's story. I've developed thousands of pictures over the years. And each and every one is on Kodak paper, because when I see Kodak on the back, I know I'll get Kodak quality on the front. And that's important, because when all is said and done, the one thing we all have to hold on to is our memories.
Ask for Kodak paper, the sign of a great photo finisher. Back when we started making tires, most Americans stayed pretty close to home. Well, then the car came along, and highways got bigger and better. And in time, people could actually drive from sea to shining sea. And through it all, we made tires for just about any car anybody might use to discover America. Kelly Springfield, America's oldest tire company.
There you see the score as we head to the final quarter, 28-19. Ron Franklin along with Mike Godfrey and Mike Adderley. And in this Southeastern Conference matchup tonight, that man there, Jay Barker. Boy, Mike, what a night. He is responsible for 83% of the offense. 246-yard passing of Alabama's total, 298.
Ron, they haven't been able to run the ball and have not been able to keep the ball away from Georgia.
Flea flicker. Too much pressure, not able to get it away, and that's 4 times that Alabama has been sacked tonight.
Ron, you go back to the running game, which is responsible for Alabama. As you look at Marion Campbell, 25 carries, 55 yards, only 2.2 yards per carry running the football. This just took too long. This blew up from the start. Good pressure by Derek Smith, number 57.
And Whit Marshall, I think, is the man who finally finished him off. But Derek, the junior from Memphis, is the one who caused the initial disarray. 3rd down and 11. Barker zings it, has it complete, but Curtis Brown is short of the 1st down mark, and it'll be 4th down for Alabama. And Brown is injured.
Well, it's 3rd and 11, Ron. You can't run an 8-yard route, a curl route. But they're talking about it over there now. Gene Stallings in. Jay Barker, as he came up 4 yards short.
And as you can see, Curtis Brown, the left ankle, I believe. He has 7 catches tonight for 71 yards.
He's had a good night.
Yeah, he has. Brian Deal, it's up to him right now, though, to boot Alabama out of harm's way. Very high. Good coverage kick. The fair catch and makes it just inside the 30. So we'll take a break. 13:33 left in the ball game. 28-19 Georgia.
There you go. Again, I really want to do it. I'm going to take the check and let's leave it there. It's not a big deal. It is a big deal for me.
Since the introduction of Visa Rewards, everyone wants to use their Visa card. Because now 10% of all your purchases automatically goes towards savings on American Airlines Flyaway Vacations, Carnival and Holland America Cruise Lines, and Marriott Hotels, Resorts, and Suites.
Look at yourselves! You're acting like a bunch of kids. Besides, I saw it first.
Visa Rewards. Now your Visa card's even more rewarding.
There are good reasons why Ford Taurus is America's best-selling car. The 220 horsepower, no-compromise performance of Taurus SHO. The combination of outstanding design and extra room in Taurus wagon. And the latest addition to the Taurus family, the sporty new Taurus SE. Now there are even more reasons for you to make America's best-selling car your car. 2.9% financing, up to $750 cash back, or special lease terms. Now on Ford Taurus.
The cowboy's business is a business of silence. 100 miles of fence gives a person time to think, to wonder about who he is, what the world is coming to. Talk to a cowboy long enough and you'll get an opinion on everything. That's because he's had time to think about everything. Yeah, at Wrangler, we know cowboys. Our genes were invented by them. That's why the West is in us. Wrangler, the Western original.
ESPN's presentation of Saturday Night CFA is brought to you by Delta Airlines. You'll love the way we fly. And by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? Well, some of the color and pageantry here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Again, a sellout crowd tonight for this game against the Georgia Bulldogs. The fans in this state love this sport, maybe like no other state in the union, don't they?
I'll give you a statistic in a second.
Staten makes the stop on Hines Ward.
Georgia play selection tonight. Couldn't draw it up any better. 24 rushes, 23 pass. Kept Alabama off balance all evening. Talking about how much Alabama football means, there's a questionnaire that they give the students here why you came to the University of Alabama. 73% said football was a reason. That was the biggest reason.
Running play will go for nothing. It's going to be a third down. Mike, I know you have been up there to speak, but I was asked by the Quad Cities Touchdown Club up in Florence to come up and visit with him. That was in July. And I asked him, I said, you guys meet year-round? He said, no, we take a month off. We only meet 11 months. That's how important football is in this state, though.
365 days a year, you're going to read something in the newspapers about football.
So the crowd coming to their feet. Their ball club, speaking of the partisans, down 28-19, and it's a third down, and the line to make is up at the 39. Zier hit, and he will be sacked for the first time tonight. Matt Parker.
Number 98 is going to get through inside and tackle low on Eric Zier. Beat Troy Stark, number 75, for the first sack of the evening.
Tremendous pressure by Alabama. Malone is the man back deep. He signals for the fair catch and makes it at the 28-yard line. So the Alabama defense takes a break, and a well-deserved one. They have just sacked Mr. Zier. We'll be right back.
Every day in 34 countries and in over 300 cities around the world, Delta Airlines helps people get down to business. Every 17 seconds, Delta has a flight taking off to the world of facts and figures, buying and selling, budgets and bottom lines. When the job is done, we have just as many flights to bring you back to the world of mommies and daddies, husbands and wives, boyfriends, girlfriends, and best friends. Delta Airlines.
Introducing Ford Contour. Global thinking has brought world-class technology to two all-new engines, including a 24-valve V6 that runs 100,000 miles between recommended tune-ups. Outstanding safety features, even a system that filters virtually all dust and pollen from the air. The totally new Ford Contour, a world car for the 21st century. For your free Ford Contour preview kit and video, call 1-800-971-6767.
Saturday at 7:30, the Florida State Seminoles take on the Miami Hurricanes. Need we say more?
11:36 left in the ball game, 28-19, Georgia. And here's the importance. Look at the Eastern Division standings. Georgia in second place along with South Carolina. They are at 2-1. And quickly, let's look at the West and how they stand there. Alabama 2-0. 1-1 is LSU and Mississippi State. And we just got a report. We have not gotten a later update, but LSU was trailing South Carolina late in the ball game, 18-17. Actually, 11:27 left in that ball game. South Carolina up by 1. Barker over the middle, got Lynch open at the 45 and out to the 50-yard line. Whit Marshall finally puts a stopper on it.
Just waited to Terrence Lynch to come open underneath. He looked first for the deep ball, then was able to come off to Terrence Lynch, number 45. Whit Marshall, number 36, and eventually run him down.
Town Creek, Alabama. Barker going to go long this time. Got his man open, and he will head for 6. Patrick Malone.
Secondary, Ron. Post pattern by Todrick Malone. He got behind the safety.
Michael Proctor tries to make it a 2-point ball game. And he does. Malone now 8 catches, 175 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Whew.
Todrick Malone is going to run a post pattern and get behind the free safety. And work up on the corner. Now watch him pass the free safety. Will Muschamp, number 30. And it's Katie bar the door.
And let's check in with Mike Tirico. Mike?
Hey, Ron, you mentioned, was the LSU South Carolina score correct? It is, and here's why. Stanley Pritchett's 1-yard touchdown run in the rain in Death Valley. Gamecocks lead by 1.
Boy, you have to say Brad Scott has done an extremely fine job very early on at Columbia, South Carolina.
Off to a very good start.
Well, they got it out of the stadium, but somebody tossed a smoke bomb down on the sideline. One of the security guards was quick and also brave enough to pick it up.
Run away. I'm sorry. I was going to say what really set that last drive up was the sack by Parker. The first sack of the ball game. Alabama was able to get to him, and it really kind of changed the course of things a little bit.
Helped get him a score. It also helped get this crowd back in the ballgame. Don't forget, as usual, we will select Visa Players of the Game. That's coming up at the end of the telecast. And Mike, one of the candidates tonight, obviously, Barker has had a great game for Alabama, but Malone, I mentioned 175 yards. That's the 3rd highest receiving total in Alabama history. Two-point game. Draw play. Hines Ward has 5, 6, and 7. John Walters there to make the stop. Well, let's talk about the quarterbacks. I mentioned Parker, and you're looking at Eric Zier. Let's compare them tonight. 226 yards for Zier, 20 of 23. And Jay Barker, 326 yards, 23 of 28. 4 touchdowns and 2 touchdowns. Zier has thrown an intercept. Rolls the pocket, too tall. He wanted Jeff Thomas.
Important 3rd down play for Eric Zier. Bryce Hunter, number 88, is a good receiver to look to.
In the flat, got it complete to German. Does he have the first down? Yes. And a flag comes in late. So the call is against Georgia. Illegal block in the back was the preliminary signal.
Illegal block in the back on the offense. 10-yard penalty, spotting a foul. Repeat, third down.
Talk about plays you got to put an asterisk by.
Put one by that one. You're correct.
Zings it, has it complete at the 39-yard line. And that is more than enough for the first down, a gain of 16. You know, and looking at Ray Goff's face, you'd think that they didn't complete it.
You're going to get the route right here, just a slow route here, and then a corner route by German, the inside receiver. Jerry German, number 17, a corner route. We talk about seeing the receiver. Eric Zier has a field presence to him.
28-26. Georgia by 2. We're about to go under 10 minutes left in the ball game. Draw play. Hines Ward will take it for close to 5. Cedric Samuel up from the secondary to make the stop. And now where they've made the spot, it's not going to be a gain of 5. It is, in fact, a gain of about 3.
They have made so many strides since that Tennessee game, and it's just hard to put into words. I think you've got to credit Ray Goff and his coaching staff for the plan they came in with here tonight and what they did after the Tennessee game. They tinkered with that offense and built a little running game, so now they're keeping defenses honest.
Draw play again. This is Bill Montgomery. Flag comes down, and that's thrown to the umpire. And 99% of the time, that's going to be offensive holding.
They're killing themselves on offense now.
Well, Virginia Tech falls today. Wisconsin falls today. Washington State got upended. SC loses big, and Illinois fell. 5 of the top 25.
Well, George Perlis answers a lot of his criticism today. Here's a guy who can coach football.
Here comes another flag. Going on top. And it is intercepted by Tommy Johnson. Nope, he couldn't hold on. Now let's go back and check the flag. Tommy Johnson with perfect position on the pass. Offside against Alabama.
There's been a series of mistakes. Talk about a big game for Ray Goff now. If he could pull this one off.
No question about that.
It's a big one on the other sideline, too, believe it.
Looking for a draw play. It looked like Montgomery went the wrong direction.
And he had an opening, Ron. If he gets the handoff there, he has an opening to gain some yardage.
Hines Ward got nicked in this ball game, and so Montgomery is spelling him.
Going to watch the draw play here, and it really is open on this side over here, but he just went to the wrong side. Steve Roberts with a good block, number 79.
In fact, I think it was Steve that he tripped over his ankle. Third down, and if they want to keep it going, they got to go up to the 49-yard line. He just throws this one away. Now here comes a flag from the other side of the field. Totally away from where the ball was thrown.
A lot of flags here in this series. Ralph State really with a good play on that.
Holding against Alabama. And the reason Gene Stallings is saying, what was that? That flag is way back over on this side of the field, totally away from where the play went.
Holding on the defense against an eligible receiver. Pass across the neutral zone. 10-yard penalty. Previous spot. First down.
Eric Zier rolled to the left side, and the penalty was way on the right side.
But it was, Mike, it was almost 50 yards away from the play.
Almost out of the stadium.
Hines Ward back in the ball game at tailback. First down, Georgia, from the Alabama 49. Pitch to Hines Ward. Breaks off a tackle, and he's going to wind up with a gain of 5 on the play. Mickey Kahn finally took his feet out from under it.
The Alabama coaches are yelling for a holding call. But first down has been the down tonight that Georgia has really controlled the Alabama defense. Gene Stallings is yelling for a hold. He knows he can't get the last one. He's hoping he'll get a call here real quick.
Mike, you imagine also that he's trying to say that was so far away from the play it had nothing to do with anything?
Yeah, but now he's working on him trying to get a hold and call for him.
Okay,
that one's too late. He can't argue that one anymore.
Georgia's going to call a timeout with 7 minutes and 31 seconds left in the ball game. We'll take it with them. Georgia by 2. We'll be right back.
Hey.
This is a test. This is a test of your local cable advertising system. If this had been an actual commercial, you would have seen a local business featured on this cable channel. If you're a business owner and would like to know more about this advertising service, call CRI at 1-800-264-6942 or contact Rosa Wayne directly at 942-6038. CRI, the best in quality video production and the most for your advertising dollar. That concludes this test of your local cable advertising system.
At Jasper Salvage, truckloads of factory overruns, some with very minor damage, but mostly new first-quality merchandise, are arriving daily. Everything for the contractor or the handyman. And best of all, the prices are far below what you'd expect to pay elsewhere.
Save even more for a limited time only. Mention this TV coupon and you'll save 2% on any purchase. Stock up now on all the home repair or remodeling items you'll need to go into fall. That's 2% savings for a limited time only.
Jasper Salvage and Surplus, Highway 41 in Jasper.
Live Wednesday night at 9 Eastern, former world champion Charles the Natural Murray clashes with Ray Oliveira. Top Rank Boxing on ESPN.
Need more than Division I college football scores? How about all of Division I, 2, and 3? Complete scores plus new stats and inside info. Get them whenever you want on ESPNnet. Call 1-800-ESPN-PRO to subscribe. Get connected with ESPNnet on Prodigy.
Ron Franklin along with Mike Gottfried and Mike Adamle. Great to have you here in Tuscaloosa. 28-26, Georgia leading by 2. Mike, how about this number? 54 passes have been thrown in this football game by the two teams. 45 of them have been completed. Is that astronomical or what?
It's either great passing or poor defense.
12th play of the drive for the Bulldogs. Draw play. Bryce or Hines Ward No place to go. Ralph Staten again.
Ralph Staten's turning up the heat on defense. He made the play on Eric Zier that the holding call was called on. Then he now comes back, number 41, works inside and makes the tackle on Hines Ward in the backfield. You're looking for big plays now. Out of your defense, you need a turnover.
Ward is the man that he wanted, and threw it a little hot and low. Punting time. Dax Langley to punt it away for the Georgia Bulldogs.
Alabama with a 3-man rush. 8 people in coverage. Had them covered.
There's a look at Todrick Malone. Off the side of his foot. Not going to be returned, and now takes a Georgia bounce. Oh, my goodness. This thing turned from a rough stone to a diamond inside the 10, and it touched dead. That's a 46-yard kick. Well, coming up next Saturday, 7:30 Eastern Time, number 3, Florida State travels to number 13, Miami. That is where Mike Gottfried, Mike Adamle, and myself will be. Nothing else really needs to be said when those two teams get together.
You see a lot of great players, 2 excellent defensive linemen, Derek Alexander and Warren Sapp.
Barker over the middle. Williams breaking to the sideline. Muschamp will finally gather him in at the 38-yard line.
Well, Homer Smith is thinking, if I can't get him loose running the football, I'm going to throw him the football. A little short pass over the middle. Just a little delay over the middle. Inside of the linebackers. Now he becomes dangerous in the secondary.
This shows you
Will Muschamp with a good tackle, keeping him pinned in against the boundary.
That's 31 yards on that pass play. Now they go with the counter trade away. And I'll tell you, the Georgia defense, Philip Daniels grabs him to the ankles. The Georgia defense has been extremely sticky against the run.
We got 6:02 on the clock. Alabama has the 2 timeouts. Down by 2. 27 1-1 at quarterback. Does he move it up to 28 1-1?
Well, he's moving in that direction right now. 5 minutes, 45 seconds left in this ball game. Williams has 13 carries, 28 yards. That's how he's been slowed tonight. Barker under pressure, sacked for the 5th time. Frank Watts.
Barker attempting the pass, a loss of 6.
Beat Joy Harville, number 60. You'll see the block here by Joy Harville. He just really got overextended outside. Frank Watts came inside of him and made the tackle.
And on a short drop like that in Harville's defense, you don't have very far to go to the quarterback.
No, you got to force him around the outside, though. He let him go inside on him, which you can't do.
Third down. If they want to keep this one going, they got to go up around the 48-yard line. Gets away from this one and now delivers, and he's got Lynch. And he will have the first down for Alabama. Unbelievable.
That's what Homer Smith talked about, his ability to escape the rush and make things happen when he scrambles. He has a field presence about himself. He bought time here. Nothing really is open. Slow rush. Now they've got him trapped right here. Travis Stroud misses him first. Now he looks the field, finds Terrence Lynch open, and he just barely gets the first down.
Marcus Williams grabbed into the jersey. So Alabama keeps it alive. About to go.
Trying to catch the Georgia defense on the draw, but Georgia really has played well against the draw. Michael Proctor in the 40-49 range is 0 for 1, but you get him in 30-39, he's 3 for 3.
Yep, in fact, he's 5 of 5 inside the 40-yard line. Mike, you're right. Third down. Barker, incomplete, and there comes a flag.
Well, they have an ineligible receiver. Joey Holiday, I believe it's number 71, John Causey, was downfield, so that's going to be an ineligible receiver downfield.
Philip Daniels with the pressure by Georgia.
Now, Ron, an interesting decision now. You punt the football with 2 timeouts and let it turn it over to your defense, and that's what Gene Stallings is going to do. 2:53. They're going to turn it over to their defense. Try to pin them inside the 10, 15-yard line and hope their defense can hold them and get a shot at the field goal to win it.
Oh, what a great punt by Deal. It's going to bound it to 5. It will go out of bounds at the 3-yard line. 50 yards in the punt. What a pressure job by Brian Deal. Well, don't forget tomorrow, despite his win last week and 8 for the season, Rusty Wallace can't shake points leader Dale Earnhardt. The NASCAR Tour heads to Wilkesboro for the season's final short track race. The Holly Farms 400 tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern Time.
Ron, it comes down to this now, 2:43 on the clock. Alabama has 2 timeouts left. They just have to stop the Georgia offense.
Hines Ward will take it for close to 5. Mike Tirico, what do you have for us?
Well, Ron, here's LSU trying to drive, trying to retake the lead late in the 4th. Jamie Howard, you know what happened a couple of weeks ago against Auburn. Benji Young the tip, Terry Cousin the pick. Brad Scott, 4-1.
Tough loss for LSU at home.
So there's a timeout on the field. Georgia by 2 will take it with them.
The weekend. It's when we slow the world down, or sometimes speed it up. It's a chance to roll up your sleeves and put last week in your rear-view mirror. And there's one truck designed for a weekend like this, Ford F-Series. With the go-anywhere muscle of push-button 4-wheel drive and the most powerful diesel pickup engine ever. More reasons why Ford F-Series is the best-selling truck 17 years running. And that's a lot of weekends.
Because they're helping to build dreams. Because of their spirit of teamwork. The men and women of Home Depot share in the spirit of the Olympics. And to help build better homes, we're proud to have McCulloch as a member of our Home Depot Olympic family. For over half a century, the McCulloch name has been synonymous with the finest quality chainsaws. They give you their best, just like the U.S. Olympic team and just like the people at Home Depot.
Sports writers. Ever wonder how they pick football's national champion? It's a highly scientific process. It's time to settle it on the field. Introducing college football's national championship by Sega Sports. 32 top college teams going head-to-head. No sports riders, just great football action. College football's national championship, only on Sega Genesis.
28-26. There you see the clock. Only 2 minutes and 35 seconds left. And the situation is it's a 2nd down for Georgia. And they need to take the ball out across the 13-yard line. Hines Ward, 21 carries, 137 yards. Not much this time, as Ward maybe has one.
Alabama using their last timeout now, Ron. Now it comes down to this play.
And Andre Royal is the guy who stepped up and made the hit on him. So we'll take a break. 2:26 left in the ball game.
Let's play Coca-Cola Monsters of the Gridiron. The challenger, Chris Weiss. His opponent, Emmett Lone Star Sheriff Smith of the Dallas Cowboys. Chris goes left.
I wouldn't go that way.
The kid fakes right.
You're mine.
He goes up the middle. Touchdown!
Man, burnt by a kid.
Bring home specially marked Coca-Cola products. Collect Monster trading cards and play Monsters of the Gridiron. You can win Super Bowl tickets or one of 8 million prizes.
You're next.
If you don't replace your air and oil filters regularly, you might as well drive your car off a cliff, because dirt can really mess up an engine. Fram Extra Life air filters and Fram Extra Guard oil filters keep out dirt best to protect your engine. Fram, America's #1 premium brand. Pay a little now or a lot later. Get a $2 rebate on Fram air filters at participating retailers.
2:26 left in the game. That's not the important thing right now. Mike, do you throw if you're Georgia on a 3rd down and a short 5?
I do. I'm putting it in the hands of Eric Zier. I want him to pick up the 1st down. So if I'm coaching Georgia, he's going to throw the football. Either that or shovel draw.
Zings it and has to come. Nope, they say incomplete. James Warner, the tight end, couldn't hold it.
Now, Ron, your decision if you're Gene Stallings is whether to go for the punt or punt return. I think what I'd try to do is go for the return here. Eric Zier was right on the money.
Oh, he was. The ball was just dropped. Warner should have caught it. That's Langley standing about 6 yards deep in his end zone. Pressure is on, but it's a low driving kick. Very returnable. Malone up the short side of the field, and they're going to say, did he signal for a fair catch? If he did, that's a penalty. That would be delay of ball game if he signaled and then ran. 40 yards on the kick. Delay of game called against Alabama. But probably what could have been even worse for Alabama, he was running into a wall on the short sideline, and he may have had a decent return.
Well, let's take a look and see if he did make the fair catch. Todrick Malone. See if his hand... Yeah, he put his hand up there.
But you know what, Mike?
What they're calling.
I think the reason that the official did call that is the rule says you can do nothing to deceive. And if you go halfway, it's got to be that. So that's the reason the official made the call.
Still great field position.
Oh, it is, yes.
Just outside the 50-yard line. No timeouts. 2:10 on the clock. Come on.
Had Key there, and he just let him too much.
Good pressure that time by Matt Storm, your 800 number defensive lineman.
(28) Georgia, 26 Alabama. Georgia scored first tonight. They got the football back and started driving, and then turned it over. Alabama came back and tied it, and we've been seesaw ever since. Short drop and pressure on Barker. Tries to run. Breaks 1, 2, 3 tackles, and is all the way down to the 38-yard line. What an effort.
Travis Stroud couldn't bring him down, number 66. But you're talking about loving the first-team quarterback now.
Mike, what a ball game this young man has had.
Strong in the lower body. Almost was brought down right here, but just broke the tackle of Travis Stroud.
15 yards on that carry. As you watch Michael Proctor on the near side. If Michael had his wish, he doesn't want to be the hero. He wants his team to score a touchdown and then go in and kick the extra point. But he's ready if need be. And as we mentioned, Inside the 40, he's perfect this year, 5 of 5. Outside the 40-yard line, he's 0-4.
He'd like to see with this 147, then pick up about 15 more yards.
Throws it complete. Tight end Tony Johnson.
They're in range now.
21 yards in the pass play. Now, he did get knocked out of bounds, so it stops the clock at 1:38.
Now I would figure you give the ball to Sherman Williams a couple times. You want that clock to run down. The last thing you want to do is give Eric Zier some time. So you want Sherman Williams right now to start carrying the football and start pumping it in front of that goalpost and as close as he can get it.
Pitches it to Sherman. He will go for very short yardage. Travis Jones, the senior from Irwinton, Georgia, makes the stop. And a timeout is called by Georgia.
And this is a good move by Ray Goff. He has all 3 of his timeouts left. So he's thinking the same thing. If they're going to score, I'm going to make sure I got a little bit of time on that clock for my quarterback.
Well, it gives us time now to do the Visa Players of the Game. For the University of Georgia, I don't think there's much surprise. Eric Zier, 22 of 28, 246 yards. And for Alabama, Jay Barker. What an evening for him. 395 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. As part of their continuing effort to further the development of amateur athletics, Visa is proud to donate $1,000 to each of these universities and $1,000 to the U.S. Olympic team on behalf of these athletes. Reminding you, 1 week from tonight, we will be in the Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida for number 3 against number 13 as Miami plays host to the Seminoles of Florida State.
I think those players will be slobbering and snorting and getting ready for that one.
I know we're heading down midweek around Wednesday to start our visits and then kind of try to get out of the way because that rivalry bears as much tension as any of them.
Trying to think again. You put the ball in Sherman Williams' hands here. Even if Georgia keeps calling timeouts, you want to set it up. You set your field goal up.
Second down. And they'll go this time with Karen Lynch. Whit Marshall steps up to make the hit on him, and Georgia calls another timeout at 1:22 left.
If his defense can hold on the next play, Eric Zier will have another shot to come on the field. He will be without any timeouts. Georgia has 1 timeout left.
Zier would love that opportunity with time on the clock. Of course, what he'd love more than anything is to see his defense keep him out of the end zone or away from a field goal.
Gene Stallings would like to see Sherman Williams pick up about 9 yards and get that first down and keep that clock moving so he doesn't have to see Eric Zier.
You know, there have been so many wonderful, wonderful performances in this ballgame tonight. But this is the second-best passing night in Alabama history by Barker.
Right, and you go back to big plays in this game and go back to the drop pass on Eric Zier on 3rd down, or Alabama wouldn't be here right now if that ball wasn't dropped because he had the first down. Yep. But there's a lot of plays like that, not just one by that particular player. Been a lot of big plays in this ball game all night.
Option play. And they just move it to the middle of the field. And now enter Michael Proctor. The ball is going to be placed around the 20-yard line, which would make it a 30-yard attempt. And a timeout has been called by Georgia with 1:16 left in the ball game. So again, to give you the numbers on Proctor, from this range this year, he's perfect. He's 5 of 5.
Georgia has to figure a way to get a push up inside, get some big body with their hands up in the air.
You know, another guy to keep an eye on, Philip Daniels, who is 6'6", has gone up high a couple of times in this ballgame. We mentioned after one that on the first extra point, we thought he came very, very close. So keep an eye on number 89.
Well, 89's got some height. He'll be in the middle. That's where you want the push. The offensive coaches from Georgia already have their thoughts on when Eric Zier comes back on the field.
32 yards. That's the distance of the attempt. He nailed it.
Hey, the fans are celebrating, but Gene Stallings' stomach is really up in his throat because Eric Zier still has 112 on the clock.
Those kickers work by themselves off alone, and they get a lot of descriptions about them of being a little different. But boy, when they hit it in pressure situations like this, those teammates really appreciate their efforts. And you talk about true. I mean, he knocked it right down the middle of the fairway.
Came down to an 183-pound kicker.
It up for Alabama. They let this one, no, it's going to be caught. That ball would have gone out of bounds. Hines Ward up the sideline, and he's going to keep it on the field of play. And we're checking Cannon Parker and his accuracy as far as field goals. And Mike, he's in virtually the same situation.
Same type of kicker, 4 for 4 from 30 to 39-yard range.
And also, we just found out Parkman's career long.
48.
Yes. Shovel pass. Hines Ward. 5-10, heading for the sideline, and he will get out of bounds. Eric Turner made the stop at the 35. Still 55 ticks left on the clock. Coming up immediately following the ball game, the Residence Inn College Football Scoreboard.
Run by the ability of Hines Ward to get out of bounds. They now can huddle Georgia, so he makes his 2 plays or 3 play calls that he has to make now.
Steps up and throws it complete again. This time Jerry German. We mentioned in the first half 7 different Georgia receivers that Eric Zier had utilized.
2 excellent offensive game plans, 2 excellent performances by quarterbacks tonight. Game means a lot.
Very, very important to these kids. Double pass again. Hines Ward dropped behind the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be a 3rd down situation.
So what you teach your defense around right now is to lay on the ball carrier, get up real slow, and you teach your offense, you got to get up as quick as you can.
3rd down, clock running. Zings it, and it is dropped. Jeff Thomas couldn't hold on. It's going to be a 4th down situation for Georgia. 25 seconds left. Here's the ball game.
Ron, I'd say the fans of Alabama will be on Jay Barker's side from here on in.
I should certainly hope so. I don't know what this young man needs to do to capture him, Mike. So Michael Proctor at 1:12 left in the ball game with a 32-yard field goal. And once again, our final score from Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. The Alabama Crimson Tide with a come-from-behind 29-28 victory. Next week, CFA Prime Time will be in Miami, Florida, as the Florida State Seminoles take on the Miami Hurricanes. For Mike Gottfried, Mike Adamle, and our entire outstanding ESPN crew, this is Ron Franklin saying so long, everybody. The Residence Inn College Football Scoreboard is next.
Okay, Ron, thanks. We'll have some post-game reaction from Tuscaloosa. In the meantime, welcome to the Residence Inn College Football Scoreboard, along with Lee Corso and Craig James. I'm Chris Fowler. Bino Cook will join us in just a second. Comments on this game, Craig. We talked about Alabama's offense on College game day, how they were searching for some kind of production. They found it.
Opened it up with a reverse early in the first quarter, let you know they were going to throw the ball and be creative.
Eric Zier, Jay Barker, don't have to say another word.
Eric Zier suffers a heartbreak reminiscent of the loss to Florida last year. Mike Adamle, back to Tuscaloosa with post-game reaction from Mr. Barker. Take it, Mike.
Jay, unofficially 395 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and enough escapes to make Houdini proud out there. Your feelings, your thoughts on this great victory over Georgia?
First off, right now, I just want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because I've had so many criticisms, and the Lord says in the Bible that if you just humble yourself, therefore under his mighty hand, that he will lift you up in due time, and this has been due time for me, and I just thank the Lord so much. Just thanks so much for just the team, the defense that we have, and just the guys that are just around me. I can't express how much I love them, and I just love to win, and it's been a great game for me, and it wasn't all me. It was these other guys giving me the protection up there. The offensive line did a great job all day long for me.
That was one of those old-fashioned AFC rivalries, mano-a-mano. Your thoughts about Eric Zier's performance?
I tell you, he did a great job. He's a competitor. I was worried to death there at the end because I knew that he could, come back and win the game for him, but, it was just a great game for us, and I look up to Eric so much. He's a great quarterback, and I have a lot of respect for him.
You talked about how proud you were of your record. It is now 28-1-1.
I tell you, like I said, that's not just me. That's my whole team, and I love them to death, and they compete with me, and we just want to win as many games as possible. But we got to put this behind us now and just get focused on our next one.
Jay, congratulations. Back to you, Chris.
All right, Mike, Jay Barker owes a lot of that great record as it started to his defense, but tonight he earned this one. They bashed him for so long. It's great when you win. They come around and pat you on the back. More on that game coming up. In the meantime, some games in progress tonight. Arizona trying to polish off Oregon State. Only one team in the last 15 has managed to rush for 100 yards against the Wildcats. The Beavers trying to get it done on the ground. But it's Dan White through the air to Richard Dice. And the wide receiver breaks some tackles. 47 yards for the end zone. Teddy Bruschi has a fumble recovery to set up a field goal. And Arizona leading the Beavers 13-0 early in the second quarter. Colorado State trying to remain unbeaten. 38-31. New Mexico has just kicked a field goal, but they still trail the Rams by a touchdown. Could be another heartbreaking loss for New Mexico. They seem to specialize in them. South Carolina and LSU on the subject of heartbreak. Could the Tigers bounce back down on the bayou where it was real rainy? Stanley Pritchett, halfback pass to Tannehill. to Blake Williamson there. Extra point no good, 7-6 LSU. LSU driving. Jermaine Sharp apparently stopped but breaks loose. 36-yard touchdown, 14-6 Bayou Bengals in the second quarter. Carolina driving again. Tannehill to strike to Toby Cates, the nice throw. It made it 14-12. South Carolina came on to score late. They win at 18-17 in Baton Rouge. A critical loss for Curly Hallman and company. They have to go to Gainesville next week. Meanwhile, congratulations to Brad Scott. He ups it to 4-1. UTEP and Hawaii, Rainbow Warriors running the option. Johnny Macon just gets the pitch off. Calvin Melvin, 21 yards for the touchdown. Made it 14-0 Rainbows. UTEP came back, kicked the field goal. That's where it stands at halftime, 14-3. Air Force and San Diego State, 17-14. The Falcons on the road at Jack Murphy, leading early on in the second half. UNLV and New Mexico State. Game's now gone to the third quarter, late in the third quarter, and UNLV has scored a touchdown to take a 4-point lead. Air McNair back at it against Mississippi Valley State. 10 minutes to play in the ball game. McNair was 17 of 25, 226, 2 touchdowns. He's run for a touchdown. The total offense record now 13,531 yards. The game of the day, once again involving the Colorado Buffaloes, this time a shootout in Texas on the sweltering carpet of Austin. We knew Texas could move the ball and score points. We had little doubt Colorado could do the same. More than 100 degrees in that carpet down in Austin. 7-3 Buffaloes in the second quarter. Shea Morenz to Lavelle Pinckney. He's the weapon with Mike Adams out. 9-yard touchdown, Horns by a field goal. But then Rashawn Salam got loose. Big holes all afternoon long thanks to that Buffalo front line. And Rashawn Salam just carved up the Longhorns. 59-yard run down to the 6. Set up a Herschel Troutman touchdown run. Buffs by 11 at halftime. Third quarter, John Makovic gets hammered right here. His team was in trouble, and Coach Mack, boom, his own guys take him out. It's not nice. Then Morenz to Pinckney one more time. They got the 2-point conversion, tied the game at 21. Buffs led by a field goal in the fourth quarter. Once again, Herschel Troutman, they like this guy. They compare him to Eric Bieniemy. He's a freshman out of Florida. His third touchdown run of the game, Buffs by 10. But this time, it was a team coming back on Colorado. Texas wouldn't quit. Morenz to Aaron Jackson. Terrible play by the safety there. A 67-yard touchdown. The Colorado lead cut to 3. Texas would tie it at 31. Closing minutes, Colorado driving for a game-winning field goal. It's Salam on 3rd and 9, converting on the swing pass. 4 seconds left. McCartney said he's aged 10 years in the last 7 days. Neil Voskerichian, who transferred from Hawaii to Pasadena Silly College, to Saddleback College, to Colorado. A lot of transfer and to kick a very short game-winning field goal. Rashawn Salam, 35 carries, 317 yards, second best total in school history. Colorado has 606 yards. Despite the win, Cordell Stewart says he's disappointed.
Well, the performance, I think it was okay, but it wasn't the way Colorado could have performed. I mean, we turned the ball over. We got these guys into the offense and into the game. I'm happy for the